How do you do? Just a word of friendly warning. I think it will thrill you. It may shock you. It might even horrify you. So if any of you feel that you do not care to subject your nerves to such a strain, now is your chance to, well, we've warned you.
Well, hello, listeners. Hello. It's continues with Podcaster's Choice.
You did it!
Yes, I did it. I am.
You stretched that podcaster.
He was working on it.
I did. I was working on it. It is Podcaster's Choice because it's January, the month of all of our birthdays. Speaking of which,
that's my favorite coffee.
Sitting next to me it's your birthday, and you don't even have to pick up the phone, Andy.
It's literally my birthday today.
Yeah.
Happy birthday.
Literally.
It's literally his birthday.
Just FYI, I'm the youngest person in the room, right?
Well, there you hear it. A regular Muncie girl.
Muncie girl.
Amy.
That's my name. Don't wear it out.
I won't.
So, before I forget, go wish me happy birthday on Facebook.
Yes.
I'm not going to.
Andy collects social media like...
And go like that video.
Who cares?
Thumbs up his pictures.
Andy's life is like an episode of Black Mirror.
I'm like that one chick, the Bryce Dallas Howard.
Mm-hmm.
Go Eagles. It's Freddy.
Hey. Go
Eagles. Yeah.
Wow.
And sitting to my left of me is Kelley.
I'm the oldest. I have a blue letter for you.
Ooh, it's a blue letter.
It's a blue letter.
So this week's
It's
movie.
a letter.
I also brought a Deus Ex Machina with me, so I could wrap it up.
Well, it's funny. I have a blue waffle for everybody.
Oh.
Gross. Did you say you were Mikey B?
Oh, and I'm Pulitzer Prize winning Mikey B.
Yeah, I owe Amy $50.
There it is. I tried. This week's movie is the Coen Brothers Hudsucker Proxy, which we'll be talking about later. And Andy has the Podcaster's Rush. See, I just can't be trusted to do this.
You're close. It's an A.
It was a lot of pressure, everybody. I had to just jump off the board.
Amy.
It's Amy, and she's doing Ghost House. Right?
Yeah.
Did I get it right?
You got it right.
Oh my gosh. Okay, so now.
But you got the name of the main attraction wrong. It's the Hudsucker Proxy. That's what Freddie kept saying yesterday. It made me laugh.
I didn't make that up.
I know, but it makes me laugh. It made me laugh.
It is one of the best porn parody titles of all time.
The Hudsucker Proxy?
The Hudsucker Roxy.
Roxy. What's the Roxy part about?
The girl's name is
her
Roxy.
name?
She's the Hudsucker.
That's the name of the pud sucking lady.
Yeah. Real quick, I just wanted to say, well, we had dinner with our buddy Brandon Boone last night, who I killed many times.
Many times.
Video games, okay?
Yeah. He has.
I think the many times counters the possible law enforcement issue that you might be concerned about. Yeah.
He won't stay dead.
People have imaginations, you know.
It's true.
But he has a new album out.
Yeah.
If you don't know, Brandon Boone's a very talented composer. He does the music for the No Sleep podcast, who are going to be on tour the beginning of this spring, end of the winter.
Cheer.
His new album is From the Void. It's very good. I was listening to it earlier today.
He talented.
Can you describe it?
It is orchestral.
Can you hum all of it?
I can't hum all of it yet, but it has an awesome cover.
Yeah.
Which you can see there, kind of. I give it to Kelley, the person with the worst eyes in the room.
Very visual.
I can show it to you bigger if you want.
Yeah, that's what I want.
Let me see if I can get a bigger one for
I lost it.
But anywho, his album's out. You can go to Spotify and look it up. Brandon Boone. All of his albums are good. Also, it's on Apple Music.
It's good for reading. If you need something to really put you in the mood for reading a
True.
novel.
So good on you, Brandon.
Yeah, and he's on tour right now, right?
No.
Or is it starting?
It's about to start in February.
You're doing great,
February.
Mike.
And that's
All
with
right.
the No Sleep podcast.
He's just a sweet gal, isn't he?
You can,
Sure is.
if you want to be like Andy, every time you meet Brandon again, you just say, "Do you eat cheese?"
It's very
just
important,
checking.
Andy.
I'm just trying to be considerate.
Because you can't remember if he's vegan or vegetarian.
Exactly.
All my friends who are vegan or vegetarian, I forget every time.
Cheese.
I try to give them meat.
I eat cheese like a motherfucker. I do fuck with cheese.
Let me tell you, you do fuck with cheese?
I do.
So when you go to your doctor, that's what
I'm
you
like,
say.
hey, I fuck with
I
cheese.
absolutely fuck with cheese.
Well, in my defense, I ask everybody that.
Well, here's the thing.
Because I'm just curious if they like cheese.
I'm going to defend that question. Sometimes your vegetarian friends turn into vegan friends,
That's
and then
right.
sometimes they turn back.
I'm just checking
sometimes
in.
they turn back again.
They're like non-animal eating werewolves.
Right. And you don't know about the lactose intolerance stuff, right?
Yeah, or
I still eat cheese.
gluten allergies.
Yes, you do. Yes, you do.
I should probably not fuck with cheese, but I continue to do so because life's too short not to enjoy things.
Cheese is so good.
So good. Like, tell
I
me
do love cheese.
why I shouldn't. I'm not eating your nutritional yeast. You can fuck right off with that.
That just sounds gross.
What is it?
Nutritional yeast?
They say you can make a cheese
Yeast
Substitute?
cheese?
substitute.
Like tofu cheese?
Like Vegemite.
Nope.
9.
Nope. Nope.
9
You keep that shit.
to yourself.
You put it in a hole in the ground, and only people who would eat the stuff will eat it.
That's
Wait, isn't kimchi in a hole in the ground? And that's great.
Yeah, it's really good, but it's in a jar.
Kimchi's different.
Because it's pickled?
Kimchi's a drag queen, Amy.
I know, and she's great, but I like the food. So
You like kimchi?
I do like kimchi.
That's
yeah.
surprising to me.
Why?
I don't know. You have a weird taste for things.
I agree. I was surprised by that, too.
Yeah.
I like spicy
What a
food.
declaration,
What's-
Amy. Declare
what's
something
confused?
else.
I mean, it will give me the fats. I'm not gonna lie. I
The
mean,
fats.
any cabbage will.
Wicked bad fats.
Fats.
The fats will be bad.
Not too fat from the cat.
Park the baby wheel in Baston, yeah.
Oh, fuck, Roger!
Oh, kid,
Cat, it's a baby wheel!
look at the baby wheel.
Speaking of Boston, I
I
hope the
missed that.
Patriots go
Yeah.
down in flames.
Okay.
What?
I'm just saying.
Fuck them.
Wait, who went down in a field?
I hope the Patriots go down in flames.
Oh.
I'm not saying I'm a Patriots fan. And
Who would
I'm
be?
just saying that I
You'd
think
be
most
garbage
people
if you were.
most people listening don't give a shit.
I'm allowed to. I don't care.
Oh, damn, what a rebel.
This is my show.
Amy.
You're
Freddie,
punk rock.
it was the Women's March. Don't try to control her.
YDWYW.
What?
It was the Women's March. Stop trying to control her.
Oh, you're right.
Have you learned nothing?
I haven't learned a
Yeah.
damn thing about anything
People
ever.
don't care. Nah.
It looked
Shut
like there
up.
were some pretty good turnouts for Women's March. The Women's
Mhm.
March.
It looks like it was very successful. Minus me, I don't march,
Unless it's against the Patriots.
and I'm sure that lots of people out there are like, "Girl, you don't even participate." No, I didn't. Okay,
It's just
but I
her-
vote every
Well,
time.
but you still have a vagina, so you are still a woman.
Yeah. Sorry.
Well, apparently Kelley hasn't learned that genitals don't
I
determine
know. God, fuck. All right.
All right.
You.
Left turn. We'll be done.
gender. All right.
You didn't do anything wrong.
I'm going to throw my...
We're all
Welcome to
learning, growing,
my
and being different.
minefield.
Just because somebody's offended doesn't mean you did anything wrong.
Just remember, Kelley rejects all blame.
Yeah.
What should we talk about in our bantering portion? Anything? Did we get up to anything
I would love
this week?
some controlled banter right
I got
now.
the flu, I think.
Yeah?
Yeah.
You got the flu?
Yeah.
That's what made
I-
her so angry about the Patriots.
I got real sick as of Wednesday. I feel better now. But I had my flu shot and everything, and that's some bullshit.
It is some bullshit. Didn't work this year.
But, I guess medical science
But you didn't
isn't-
puke, right?
No, it wasn't the shitting, puking flu, although I felt very nauseous. So, that happened. Anybody got anything else?
We have some new patrons. That was very exciting.
Patreon.com/NOTLP if you want to participate in our participatory Patreon.
Thank
a
you.
ton of new content. Andy and Emily talk about I, Tonya. Amy and me have been covering the new X-Files season.
I haven't seen this week's yet because Freddie does his other podcasting stuff on Wednesdays and it's hard to schedule
Yeah.
it. And then I was sick.
We did Night of the Comic.
Mm-hmm.
We've had tons of stuff.
We
Tons
saw
and
The
tons
Greatest
of stuff.
Showman this week?
We
the
did.
Greatest, is that what it's
we
called?
haven't done a show about it.
Oh,
We haven't done a show about The Greatest
so
Showman.
it hasn't happened yet.
But
sorry.
I think all of us that saw it loved it.
yeah.
I got
For
a new
sure.
desk lamp.
Did you?
I
Is
did.
it okay? Is it like a banker's lamp or is it more like got a bendy neck? What do we got?
Look,
what are we doing?
What it is
Oh.
it's kind of like one of these.
He's pointing at our Edison light.
It's flat.
No, he's talking about the mic stand.
Oh, you're pointing at the mic stand?
I'm pointing. Yeah, it's like it goes
What are
up
these
like
called?
this, and it comes out like this. And
It's a boom arm.
and there's there's a rectangle of light right here.
He's pointing to the long end of the boom arm. Does this help you?
And then right here, there's a USB, so you could plug your phone into it and charge it.
Oh, I want to describe something I got.
And if you rub it right here, it like turns the light to different dimnesses.
Does the genie come out?
We're really scraping the bottom of the barrel for banter right now, right?
I'm excited about it. I also got a new HTML book.
A what now?
A new HTML book.
Oh my gosh.
Like a book about HTML?
Hypertext markup language?
Yeah, that was the very one.
An illustrated book about codes.
What did you get this week, Andy?
I like my mustache.
Oh,
There you go.
I'm glad you do. What about you?
I'm contemplating shaving it off though, because I don't think it's a good look.
You should donate it to Lux
I mean,
for
I like
love.
it, but
Do you want us to vote?
I don't know if I'm wearing it genuinely or ironically.
Don't you think?
So at this point, the mustache is wearing you.
Yeah,
That's what you're saying.
exactly.
Do you want us to vote? Do you want to put it out to the list?
Should I? Is it Galooly-ish?
No.
No, you haven't heard anyone.
I would say shave it. I prefer
Physically.
you without it, but that's just me.
It's like I know it's not the best mustache, but I like stroking it.
And you constantly
love to
do
stroke
that.
it.
Yeah, that's what she said.
So,
What did Mikey B get this week? Since your birthday was on Tuesday.
My birthday was on Tuesday. I got this shirt that I'm wearing, this Oswald Mechanic shirt.
It's
nice.
pretty awesome.
I like it a lot.
Bit for today.
It's nice.
Thank
like it a
you.
lot.
Yeah.
Freddie,
My
did
friend
you-
Steve got that for me.
Awesome
Steve.
job, Steve. Freddie, did you get anything this week?
I've asked for a lot of things.
What does that mean?
Are you,
I sure
are you
have.
using the secret right now?
What are you doing?
I'm putting it out there in the universe. I was closing the curtains so we couldn't hear the dogs barking. You probably still can hear them.
Yes,
Yeah.
because they're noise canceling curtains.
They're supposed to be. One of the things I asked for that didn't work out, I guess.
Is that such a thing? Noise canceling curtains?
Amy's taking me. Yeah.
No.
Yeah.
Material.
That's
Well,
what these are.
They're supposed to
Deadening,
help dampen.
deadening.
They
Dampen.
absorb
Oh,
the
okay.
sound. And
Yeah.
Yeah, and then you have to ring the sound out every day into a bucket.
It's the density.
So Amy's
That taught
taking
me to you.
She's taking me to Buena Brasa. Which
Yeah.
you may have one in your city. It's a chain of Brazilian steakhouses where they keep feeding you and feeding you and feeding you.
It's so good.
He's
they take
gonna
such
go
good
on
care of you.
Saturday.
I'm gonna have to train for it because I don't have the capacity I once had for food.
You have to listen. Here's what you have to do.
Yeah.
First of all, don't get everything.
No,
There are a
I've
few
learned.
things.
Yeah, I know that lesson. Skip the chicken wings.
Skip the chicken wings. Skip that Parmesan pork tenderloin.
Yeah, no one needs that.
No one needs
Stick
it.
to the beefs.
Sounds
the
good.
lamb.
And
Lamb
the
chop is
lambs.
amazing.
Yeah.
Also, don't be afraid to turn your card over.
Right,
Just
and
get
take
a
a
few
breather.
things. Just sit there for a while. Talk.
Have a
to your-
caipirinha.
Have a caipirinha. Talk to your friend or your partner or your lover.
Yeah.
Or your lover's aunt. Whoever's with you. And then, when you're ready, burp a few times.
Yeah. Shit your
Flip
pants.
your card
Make
back
more
over.
room.
My son, when we took him, he told the server, he was like, "No, I burped and I'm ready. I made room."
Yeah.
They
Your
were
son's a young man though. He can probably pound it down where I might end up in the hospital at the end of the night at Buena Brasa.
It's pretty great. I felt very successful the
Yeah.
last time I went. The first time I
should
felt
chug
I
like a
fucked it
gallon of
all up.
water. I think I need to do what Kobayashi does before a tournament.
Yeah.
Are you gonna soak all your meats in water?
Yeah, I'm gonna every time they bring me some, I'm gonna dunk it in my glass of water.
I've been to those places twice now.
Yeah.
The first time I hated it because of the price, and then I'm just not a huge meat eater. But so the second time I did it, the way
That's
that
not
would
what I
make
hear.
Hey!
38, and his jokes have aged well.
Gay jokes are timeless.
Timely.
They are. The second time that I went, I just got the salad bar option.
Salad bar is awesome.
Salad
And
bar
the
is
salad bar
awesome.
I
is
am
fantastic.
considering it.
Yeah,
It's
They,
much cheaper, and it's a great salad bar.
They had real good mashed potatoes and shiitake mushrooms.
I just don't want to. That feeling
Well,
where you're just like, I might vomit because I ate
Yeah.
too much and I don't have enough room for my lungs to expand all the way.
here's the thing.
Yeah.
I don't like that.
You get the salad bar, and then
No.
when there's no servers around, which is tricky at one of those places because there's always servers around, you have your husband slip you some meat. So you get the best of both
I've
worlds.
been trying to slip her some meat all morning.
Oh.
Freddy Morris.
So
40 years old and
yeah, you like how my jokes have aged?
Oh, he was telling me that he was an elderly man this morning, that he's turning into an elderly man. He's like, I'm gray haired, blah, blah, blah. He couldn't find his coffee. He put it somewhere and he couldn't find it. And I was like, you've been telling dad jokes for 20 years. Like, you have been an elderly man as long as I've known you.
Well, I was leaving the office on Friday and I walked by one of my coworkers' desks and I was like, thanks for helping me earlier. And she just stared at me and said, I didn't help you with anything today. And I said, I just stared for a minute. I said, what?
Are you serious?
Don't feel bad. Listen, one of the things that
I had emailed someone else about something earlier in the day, and they helped me with it. So I made a point to stop by a different person's cube and thank them.
Is she giving you a wide berth right now?
Listen, man, my memory has been slipping a little bit lately.
Yeah.
Which I've always had an amazing memory, but like lately, like just yesterday, Elise like brought up a conversation we had about something. I was like, I don't remember this at all.
Yeah.
She's like, you don't remember this at all? I was like,
You have other contributing factors other than age, though.
I don't remember this at all. Well, that's true.
Hitting the big 4-0 this week, I think I've been hypersensitive to things. Like, I'm just looking for something to go wrong or looking like for body things to mess up or droop or...
Droop.
but I will say this, man. When I turned 40, I feel younger than I have felt in a million years, like since I was in my 20s. So 40 is nothing to be scared of.
Yeah.
It's a good year. It's a good birthday.
The thing that hit me was I was laughing in bed because I was like the whole...
By yourself.
By myself.
Did you Dutch oven yourself?
Because, because I was, been like thinking about that stuff. And then I just discovered that all the Golden Girls were on Hulu, and I started watching Hulu, and I was watching Golden Girls, and I'm like, this show's great.
It holds up like gangbusters.
This is my thing.
Yeah.
This is my 40. Because I'm watching Golden Girls in bed at like 8:45 at night.
Yeah.
And so I had a little chuckle because I'll take that. I can accept that.
I was 40 when I was 16.
Yep. That's right.
I was 40 on the inside.
Yep. It's the circle. What about you, Andy? You're 38 today. Anything new for you today?
Who's 38? I'm 65.
He's 65 on the
Don't
inside.
I look good for my age, guys?
You do.
I mean, sure.
Technically, you're still the only one at this table that gets carded at the Rated R movies.
Yeah, that's true.
You're doing pretty good.
Not with this kicking mustache, because
it's so kicking.
That's why you grew it.
It's off the hizzy.
Makes me look old now, right?
Nope.
Is it so you could buy alcohol? Is that why you grew that?
I made your little birthday video this morning, and some of the pictures, I never realized how much your appearance has changed over the past few years.
Thanks.
No, not like good or bad or anything.
Not good.
Not good.
Not bad.
No, you just change your hair.
No, you
change
just
it up.
like
Not good or bad.
you know, when you see someone every day, you don't notice the little changes. But it's fun to look at the video.
That's why I grew the mustache, because I don't want to be look the same all the time in pictures.
Mix it up.
You don't want anyone to know at any time that it might be you.
Yeah.
You're trying to avoid people.
Like, you guys look the same from every picture.
Mm-hmm.
Y'all boring.
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
I don't.
Step your game up.
I think I look different. Very different.
Step your pussy up.
Yeah, step your pussy up.
Step up. Pussy edition.
Your tuck game is messed up.
What?
I said your tuck game is messed up.
Aw, Freddie tried, you guys.
Did I do it right?
Horrible.
Good job, Freddie.
Thank you. Looks like you're smuggling some Mike and Ikes down there.
How
many segments have you squeezed your wiener into?
I am smuggling Mike and Ike's.
Looks like a bag of rice.
I have a very pebbled scrotum. I can't help that. Yeah.
It is like our dad just watched Drag Race for the first time.
Freddie tries so hard. He's
Have you seen the men? And they are dressed as women. And they're competing.
It's like, hey, Amy, you're headed out? Are you going to sashay away?
Congratulations. Happy 10th birthday.
Why are you doing Obama?
It became Dan Rather.
Dan Rather here. This just in. My tuck game's on point. And I'm fishy as hell.
that was Obama, though.
Oh, you became Obama.
Yeah.
Yeah, I can't do either one of those.
You did a good Obama.
Well, you probably shouldn't do Obama in the first place.
Good Obama?
Good Obama?
Yeah.
Well, our government is shut down.
Good.
So
Purge!
we're not getting paid for this podcast.
We are subsidized by the federal government. If you didn't know that.
Thank you, taxpayers.
We're part of the National Podcasting Association.
the national grant for for the arts, for the endowment for podcasters
for excellence in nonsense.
So do we have to testify on Congress of why they should give us more money?
Yeah.
I'd be like, look, I did a Dan Rather that transitioned into a Barack Obama while making jokes about being a cross-dressing competitor on a reality show. I think this brings true value.
It's never happened before, ever in the history of anything.
Yeah.
I guarantee it.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Who's going to control the bears when the bear gets into your car at the national parks? Who's going to come to help you? Nobody.
Nope, those park rangers are just going to be sitting in their little cabins, playing crazy eights with each other.
Mm-hmm.
It's crazy that the Democrats let
drinking
this happen.
root beer.
All right, Amy.
It's like Democrats love bears eating people in national parks. And you know what? Anybody dies in a national park this weekend from a bear attack? Chuck Schumer caused that.
Well, I don't know if you know this, but Grizzly Man is the official film of the Democratic National Party. National Party? What? I just added a word that doesn't exist in that word.
Yeah.
Phrase?
Word. Term? I think of
Just
Democratic
made fake
Party as
government.
one word. So I say it all in one.
How's everybody's marvelous mind this morning?
Yeah.
Too much sugar?
Too much.
That was the best thing about your mom dying.
It was, wasn't it? It's worth it because we got a marvelous mind.
Have we explained the context of
I
Marvelous
think
Mind
we
to everybody?
have, but if you want to
Thank my
repeat
dead
it.
mom for that
Yeah.
because
It took every fiber of our being not to like laugh out loud.
I think
at
I
that
even
moment.
turned around and looked at you.
I
when
think you
said
did,
it.
yeah.
It was the J-Ho.
Yeah, the J-Dub funeral
Service.
that I didn't want to have for my mom, but I knew she wanted, so we had it anyway.
You did the right thing.
And the elder, I'll even say his fucking name, Brother Solomon.
That is an old ass name.
Well, he told us to cut
Jesus
the baby
Christ.
in half. So.
Yeah, he's doing my mom's eulogy, which barely talking about my mom, which it tends to happen, I guess. And then he tries to tie it in with a movie. I don't know why. He's saying that Jehovah remembers everyone. He's going to remember my mom. And he says, it's like that movie, A Marvelous Mind. He means a beautiful mind. Which still wouldn't have anything to do. John Nash wasn't renowned for his memory, but
I had to look down at that point. I couldn't look up.
And they said, "It's like that movie, A Marvelous Mind," and he said it like 3 more times.
Yeah.
So we'll, if nothing else, we got that out of my mom's death. So thanks, Mom.
Thanks, Lois.
She's just like those weasels in Beastmaster now.
Well,
Icky and Blicky, or whatever the names were.
I kind of want to go to more of his sermons.
Og and Og.
To see what else he pulls out of his ass.
All right, everybody, Care Bear stare.
I do. Listen, if you've not like JW, as an adult, I've been, I think, other than at funerals, 2 or 3 times.
Is it because they're just so out of touch with like popular culture?
It's not even popular culture. Like, I mean, yes, but it's also like when they give these talks, they're just making shit up that seems like it sounds. They're Tommy Wiseauing their sermons, so like it doesn't mean anything. I realize that because when I was a kid, I could never follow any of these talks. And then, after I got kicked out, my dad stepped down from being the lead elder for a while. But then when I was an adult, like he went back and he was going to give his first public talk again as a full-fledged King of the Kingdom Hall. And so my mom said, your dad would really like it if you and your brother came out and saw us talk. You can leave right after. And I was like, all right, I can do that. I love my dad. And so me and my brother were like, we're going to finally understand what they're saying. We're adults now. Mm-hmm. We're grown-ups. We're going to fucking get it. And it's only going to feel like 45 minutes. That's nothing. As kids, it felt like a 5-hour-long ordeal.
Right.
We're like, nope, it's the same as an adult. You're like, what the fuck is he saying? What is Dad saying? Why is it still happening? 45 minutes has been gone 5 hours ago. It's the same. So if you just want to be confused and waste, 5 hours or 45 minutes of your time, go to a Kingdom Hall on any given Sunday.
Just
instead
like
of watching
Al
football.
Pacino.
Yeah.
Like that movie.
Yeah.
Every random weekend.
Yes.
They did a lot of like. I wasn't brought up religious, like strictly like made to go to church or anything, but I was sent away to church, kind of. You know what I'm saying?
Oh, I do.
It's like
because you got pregnant.
My parents didn't go. Yeah, I had to go to the nunnery.
Yeah.
No, my parents didn't go to church, but they were, I guess, kind of religious somehow. But
it's a complicated
right,
emotion.
I don't know, it's a personal thing, and like they would send me. They'd be like, "Well, you know what though? We get Sundays if he goes to camp or something." You know, and I'm like, I totally respect that. That's cool. But like the kind of church that my relatives, my cousins and stuff were going to at the time, like there was speaking in tongues.
It's Pentecostal,
like
right?
Yeah.
Oh, it's like was it like a revival type thing?
Yeah, a lot of times it was like that. But then my uncle, they had like a gospel group that played all kinds of different Christian churches, and some of them are like straight out of the Blues Brothers, and then other times there are people handling snakes. So it's like across the board that. But the speaking in tongues thing was one of those first moments where I'm like, I got to get out of here.
Yeah, I bet. Thankfully, there's none of that at the Kingdom Hall.
Yeah, there's equal amounts of crazy though.
At the Kingdom Hall, they bleed all the exciting stuff out.
Yeah,
like they take every bit of mysticism and interestingness out. By design, because that's too much like the world.
Yeah.
And they're not going to have any part of that. So it's all very like boring. I wouldn't like being in a church where they're handling snakes, but at least at the end of the day,
they're snakes.
I'd be like, there were snakes. Yeah. I like snakes. There are no snakes at the Kingdom. There's nothing that I like. Do you know what? Somebody asked me the other day if there was, one of my kids asked me, what was your favorite thing? Like, I know you didn't like it, but what was was there anything about the Kingdom Hall that you liked? The water fountain. Yeah. I liked the water fountain.
It was real cold.
It was real cold.
What about the bathroom shrimp? Because I've been obsessing about that story since you've told it.
That was out of necessity.
Yeah, okay.
I didn't take any pleasure out of it. It wasn't like a fetish for me. It was absolutely out of necessity.
Yeah, sometimes you just need shrimp.
Well, the funny part is eating shellfish in and of itself is a sin in a lot of religions, and you were in the bathroom, like fucking like sinning out of your pocket, in front of the fucking toilet.
Kelly, we didn't tell you when me and Amy went to Cozumel, our excursion for our Disney cruise. We went on a bus ride and we saw a Kingdom Hall
in Cozumel. We
gross.
passed by.
I'm sorry.
we didn't go in. We were just
in paradise.
Saw it.
Yeah. It's international.
Yeah.
Mm-mm. Freddie, the church that your parents sent you to, was it a Pentecostal church then? Or?
Well, it was considered Southern Baptist.
Oh, okay.
But 6 one way half a dozen.
Right, but people did speak in tongues, and
so they were slain in the spirit.
Yeah, they're like. It's kind of like the end of Return of the Living Dead Part 2 when they electrocute the zombies.
I've seen it is a weird thing to see.
Yeah.
It's scary. I've seen it. I've seen it before, and it does something to you.
It's unsettling and hilarious. Like
there's two components here. One is mass delusion kind of thing. That makes it kind of scary. And the other thing is like, why do you feel that God is speaking through you right now? Do you really feel that way, or are you just doing it to fit in?
It's performative, I think.
Yeah, I don't know. It upset.
Then I don't know.
As a kid, it really upset me.
I think it can be really upsetting too, and I understand biblically where I have an odd part of me in my past that I have a biblical studies degree, so I the idea of it is that it's like this angelic language that the devil can't understand. Right. So that's why they're having this communication.
Oh, that's what angels sound like?
Though. Yes. But when you talk about the mass hysteria, it's interesting because in certain religions, like if you can't do that, then that says something about you. So then it does catch into like, I better start talking this.
Right.
Jabberwocky, jibber jabber.
So some people are just
the Jabberwockies.
Some people are just faking it.
Well, they would say. Well, it's kind of like when you put people in the same room and you get them all to believe the same thing, then they're gonna say, "Of course you believe that, right?" Like you can make people believe some pretty crazy things.
Andy, you would go along with anything.
And then there's people.
People would like you and like your Instagram pictures. You would go along. You would eat a Tide Pod.
It is the same sort of thing.
Well, how else am I supposed to measure my worth?
Andy, there are people who get so upset that they quote unquote didn't get the spirit.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
That they're like, they totally buy into it being real, but they're not going to fake it. So they're just tortured that it's just not happening.
Yeah, then they think that the devil has, like, that there's some kind of sinners and that, like, the devil has a hold of them, and it's a whole other thing.
Yeah.
I think it was kind of sweet to think that it's this angelic language.
Sure.
Am I naive?
Oh, no. I mean, it's...
Well, no. I mean, you didn't have to do it. So I think you might feel differently.
We were
if you
talking
did.
about this last night. There's a purity in that, in the essence of that Christianity and of the goodness of this being helping you and giving you this stuff. There's purity in that. Then we are humans and we fuck it all up.
This is funny. This is our light banner portion of the show.
So anyway,
Well, but I don't. Yeah.
But I get that feeling sometimes you feel something so much that you kind of lose control.
Sure.
You lose yourself in the music,
Yes.
the moment.
Same thing.
when Andy's twerking, it's transcendent.
Okay, here's the thing. We were at the drag show and we saw Chi-Chi DeVane do backflips in high heels, and when she did it, I was like, "Yes!" I stood
it
up
was
and
like,
clapped and I cheered. But I felt something at that point. So.
Yeah,
Sure.
He
You were-
felt that she
you were moved
doesn't
by the
get ready,
emotion.
she stays
Yes.
ready.
The
So,
difference is what it equates to. Like in that church, it means like
But
if I'm
aren't
not
they-
doing it, I'm not. I haven't reached that station of.
I'm not good enough.
It's like when a girl hasn't gotten her boobs yet, and all her friends do have boobs.
Well, the amount of attention that people get for doing it, when it happens, everyone in the church is like, "Oh my God, that is! I'm so happy for you that this happened," and you get all this attention,
Love,
and you're a star that week.
But don't some people do feel like the
And
love
then
of
you're
God
in on the
so
club.
much that it does happen?
Yeah.
That's somewhat.
I mean, don't some people feel the love of God and Jesus so much that it does
Look at
like,
it.
take
Maybe,
control?
but that's
Maybe.
just it. It could be any number of things where people do like feel this like joy, and then they interpret it as the Holy Spirit is working through them,
Right.
Because their belief is so strong that natural. I mean, maybe who the fuck am I to say it's
Well,
not?
and
But
they-
like,
Sometimes I have too much sugar in my immediate reaction. I go,
I'm there right now.
Well,
I've
do you
had
ever
the
Yeah.
do you ever do
punch
that
key and the cheesecake
where you
and
have
coffee.
the bite too much and you go?
I always think of that. Do you remember that video with the lady releasing the doves at Michael Jackson's sentencing? Do you remember that video?
Yes.
She was like so like in that.
Yeah.
That's like that. You're just being overcome in spirit, and there's something to be said for that. You walk down Main Street, USA Disney, for our Disney fans out there. You get a little teary eyed. You get a little
cry.
emotional.
Can I tell you something
I get
upsetting
emotional all the time. Yeah.
about the doves when people do that?
Were they crying?
There's a bunch of birds in the box that get killed when they do that.
Yeah.
So there's like
From
dead.
having them all.
There's
in
tons
together.
of them. There's like you say you put all these doves in this box to release ceremoniously.
20% are gonna die.
Right. That's about
Yeah.
close
Fuck
to
your
it too.
doves.
Like about a third of
Horrible.
them. Yeah, we'll be
Fucking
killed.
butterflies. Fucking
So
right.
don't release
Oh,
doves.
thanks
But-
for that information, Freddie.
Yeah.
For what it's worth, I'm a lot better with the tongues than I am with like the poisonous snakes and the poison, because that's
Yeah.
also supposed to just be if you believe enough,
Yeah.
then the poison won't
Okay,
kill
so-
you.
So
They're
I'm
like,
a-
nobody ever believes enough.
If you
Right.
believe
they
enough,
all die.
you can
Well,
swallow
Andy,
every
okay,
drop
so-
and it's not a sin.
So you feel that joy and that love and that moment of belonging and happiness, and the only way you know how to express it is the way you saw everybody else do it, because that's what you
When
learned.
also because you believe you,
Right.
you are like, oh, it's finally happening for me. You feel this feeling that you haven't had,
And so you do the
you're
tongue
like,
thing.
oh shit, yeah.
Right. It can come out of you a few different ways. Like one way is a lot of people cry.
A lot of people get boners.
Boner.
So I think
pooping and peeing.
Dancing.
I think I'll be very susceptible to speaking in
Yeah.
tongues at
I
church.
think Andy could very easily be convinced to join a cult.
I could see you more doing like
if
the
people
dancing.
like me, then yes.
Yeah.
No, we like you.
You're just like Jerry
Thank
Blank.
you for
Because
being a friend.
I remember I was on the cruise.
Well, you are part of the gentlest cult in the world, which is NOTLP.
Yes.
Yeah.
And then they started playing Mickey's Once Upon a Christmas, and I just started bawling.
It was the gift of the Magi
Yeah.
part.
This was one of the sweetest things.
Yeah.
We're
laughing
Freddie and everybody
I
thought
wasn't
that
there.
we were like the sweetest gay family. I think at that moment,
So here's the thing: I was in my speedo.
and Freddie and I were was sandwiched between Freddie and I in our swim
We
trunks.
stopped to watch.
We had just got off the aqueduct.
Yeah. So I was in my speedo. We stopped to watch the last bit of the Gift of the Magi Disney version, and Mickey started playing his harmonica in the little town of Bethlehem,
Yeah.
and I lost it.
And then
I
he went
was
to.
Is
Oh.
Bethlehem completely peopled by ducks? Ducklehem?
Duck, like as in
Like
it's like
Duckburg?
Duckburg.
Yeah. It's on a Disney boat. Why wouldn't Bethlehem
That's a good
why wouldn't the
point.
human beings be replaced with Duck Wiseman?
It weirds me out that the
Duck Baby Jesus.
all these animals are Christians.
If you ever are feeling down or out, you need. I'm
Don't
serious.
worry.
In your mind, picture this moment because
Andy
I'm
in
not
the
saying
Speedo.
like Andy just kind of lost it, like audibly. It was a genuine audible sob.
He
like,
had a
little
towel,
kids
though.
were. Yeah, he did get a towel.
He had a towel wrapped around his shoulders, and we were on either side of him. And I think it almost started to get me going at one point because I was just like,
it did.
he's like, oh, Minnie, I got you. What was it? He got her combs or something. It was a gift of the Magi.
Yeah.
Only they changed up what the
She
gift.
got him a box for the harmonica.
Oh, yeah.
And she got him a watch chain still.
Yeah,
But
yeah.
she sold the watch to get the box.
Yeah, and he sold the harmonica
Yeah.
to get the chain.
Right.
Scrooge McDuck.
Then
gave
Andy
away
took his
one
towel
gold
and
piece.
tied it around a stick and put a sandwich in it and started. it was really truly just.
Andy was like, and then he just kind of moved the towel from his face, and his eyes
Children
rolled
were
up.
walking by wondering if he was okay.
And
the
his
worst part-
Speedo was creeping up his ass.
And this was after I had my first drink on the cruise. And my body was like blood red.
This red man is crying. Did somebody litter?
So
he just kept saying, "It's so beautiful."
Oh my lord!
I understand. Listen, I get very emotional about a lot of things all the time.
Do you get so emotional, baby?
I do.
It was a beautiful
I
moment.
cry all the time.
It truly was a beautiful moment, one I will never forget.
So I can't like crap on people that feel those to them are genuine moments.
It's
Right.
and I don't think anybody was crapping on that moment. The idea, though, of your self-worth being connected to I have to do this
Right.
thing.
It's
Right.
like
Well,
the
it's
difference
the
is-
manipulation
Yeah.
of by the organization.
Part of it is had Mike and I we insisted on you crying at that.
Right.
Is the difference.
and they pushed you into it.
And
Like
the Disney Corporation had representatives behind us making sure we were insisting on you crying on that
Right.
moment. We're like, is
Because
it
that
working?
was the only proper way to respond to it.
Right.
Is to burst into tears in your Speedo.
For me, it's and somewhat of the
vestments.
reverse. Like when I'm at a movie with Andy and I'm feeling my eyes get watery, I feel a little bit of judgment if I don't hear him at least like doing
Yes.
that because
Oh, yeah.
usually when I know Andy has already hit that moment and he's hitting it hard if it's getting to me. So it does there's a connection there, but it's a truly genuine feeling.
it's
You don't.
commiseration. It's a human commiseration.
But
Yeah.
can it be genuine for those people even though
It
Yeah,
can
it's
be
genuine
but
for them.
It's genuine for some of them, but they were manipulated into that reaction.
I wouldn't judge the experience as much as just that, I think where it gets dangerous is I just worry when people say I'm not good enough in God's eyes, or I'm not, if you believe in God, or I'm just not a good enough person in everybody else's eyes if I'm not doing this thing, if I'm not having this response.
It's
that's
not a
the part
natural
that's,
reaction.
But right,
It's
that's
something
the
they
part that's
learn.
dangerous.
but the church doesn't say that, do they?
Yeah, in lots of these they do. I mean,
Yeah.
you've seen documentaries about this
It's a test
shit.
of the. No, this is a specific segment of Pentecostal will be considered under the Christian umbrella, but it's a specific population that believe that
you have
you're
to speak in tongues to get the spirit.
just that it's. I don't think that you have to, but it just means that the spirit is moving you.
okay.
It's really showing
be-
that you've
what it
reached a
makes-
level of.
It's a social thing that you go into a new tier.
Yeah, and
when it
people
happens.
question
So it's like Scientology.
If
Yes.
you're not getting it, then the people around you start questioning.
Right.
It's almost like the witch trial. It's like, well,
Yeah.
why aren't they getting it? Is it because they worship the devil and eat babies?
a lot of the
Because they watch The Simpsons. Sometimes it's
Yeah,
that
I know.
simple.
I know. I believe
Yeah.
me. I wasn't supposed to read Lord of the Rings.
Right.
yeah.
So
And I get where I get it is like the where Pentecostal's a little bit scarier because it's out there and some of the things that they do are dangerous. Like you can also see that in organized religion with like the altar call or to testify. Like that's a big thing of like if you can't get up in front of lots of people and say what God has done in your life, then you're not you haven't reached a certain status, or if someone gives a particularly moving speech, then you better, when the basket comes around, then you better be moved to give up 20% of your earnings or 10%.
Or if the power team has taken one of those hot water bags and they blow it until it explodes.
That was cool though.
Yeah.
Come on. And he ripped the phone book in half and threw it in the air.
And you were like, Jesus is real.
Like he made it rain.
In case you don't know what the power team is, Google that shit. It's so weird. It's bodybuilders using the power of Christ to destroy shit on stage.
Not their muscles.
Because
not their extreme muscles.
He said, blowing up this hot water bottle is dangerous because if the air rushed back in my body, it could kill me.
Yeah.
Wouldn't it be funny if the air rushed back in and inflated him?
Yeah, I would love that. And then he floated away.
He just floated away real cute.
Yeah. It's all about the banter.
By the way, I watched Tickled.
Oh, that's a really creepy.
Isn't that crazy?
Yeah, I'm glad that guy's dead now. Not to spoil.
Oh, is he really? The guy who ran the cult?
Yeah,
or whatever it was.
David D'Amato.
Yeah,
Dakota.
I guess I'm spoiling that. Spoiler alert for Tickled.
David Dakota's in The Disaster Artist, by the way.
That's exciting. I made my peace with him. I said some very mean things about him that I redacted. But
I'm glad for you.
Yeah, but the Tickled.
Isn't it like it's crazy, right?
The Tickled?
Yeah, because it went to places you did not expect, and like, no.
It actually went mostly where I expect. But for some reason, I was like, how are they going to do this without it being like pornographic? And then I was like, oh, okay.
Porn.
Yeah.
It was fucked up. Watch Tickled.
Did you watch it, Amy?
Mm-mm.
It was really good.
It's crazy. I'm so glad he's dead. Spoiler alert.
Well,
isn't it funny where we were about the lack of banter?
Tickled to death.
we can do anything we put our minds to.
That's right.
Our marvelous minds.
And you know what? The power of Jesus came into all of our bodies and caused such epic banter.
Ew, Jesus came in my body.
Yeah. Jesus came all over your back.
He took the wheel.
That upset somebody.
I don't give a fuck.
Bye.
We'll be right back.
To that person.
We lost so many patrons.
Hello, boys and girls. It's time for Straight-to-Video Russian Roulette.
Welcome back, everybody.
No.
What?
No. I don't feel welcome.
Oh, well, think about
I
how
haven't-
that's your fucking problem.
I haven't.
How about you think about that?
It's because you don't got the spirit. You're not chosen.
I can't. I can't progress. I don't know. I got nothing. I was
You were doing great.
trying to do a thing.
Petered right out.
And just fell out of my butt.
No. Watched a movie called Ghost House, starring Scout
Out from Halloween,
Taylor
right?
Compton.
Yeah.
With Jonathan Taylor Thomas.
Oh.
Real quick, if you want to watch a funny thing called Ghost House that's deliberately funny, there is an animator on YouTube. I can't think of his name right now. If I think of it, I'll put it up. But he makes it's real silly. They're real silly cartoons. But the Ghost House. Why do ghosts have such sexy butts? I want to put that out. It's real funny. It's stupid. Anyway, Ghost House.
This movie was fine.
Is it about
No, it's not. It wasn't that great.
Is it about a ghost fraternity?
No.
Ghost House.
It was well shot,
Oh.
if a little overdone on the blue filter. But it wasn't. It didn't. You know. It's essentially.
You gonna mention the director's name? Because it's great. His name is Rich Ragsdale.
So William Ragsdale directed this.
Rags and Rags to Riches.
Oh,
How great is that name?
I wonder if
bet
he's
it's not
related to
real.
William Ragsdale.
Maybe.
So
This guy directed one episode of Herman's Head.
lady and a guy that just has a face that he's a villain.
Villain face.
So the whole time I'm like, villain face is gonna be bad, but he wasn't. Spoiler, I guess.
That's the twist.
I guess. They go to Thailand, this couple. Villain face and Halloween girl. And they're in Bangkok.
Why do you call Jonathan Taylor Thomas a Halloween girl? Oh, because she's from Halloween. Never mind.
Okay.
I forgot. I thought
Did.
you were describing her
Scout
her
Taylor
character.
Compton.
Yeah, Jonathan Taylor Thomas.
Jonathan Taylor Thomas.
Jennifer Jason Leigh.
Mm-hmm.
Sarah Jessica Parker.
They go to Thailand. They encounter a ghost house. Ghost house are houses are I can't think of the word. Like a tradition that if you have these little like houses and you bring offerings to them, very small, like birdhouse size, like food and incense. I almost said insulin. That'd be weird.
If you bring them food and insulin,
incense and peppermints.
Then you keep the ghosts happy in their little house. They won't
haunt your house.
That's kind of adorable.
I don't know if it's real. I'm assuming it's a real
adorable.
tradition. And the white couple come in and do something, and they shouldn't with the ghost house.
They fuck on it.
The ghost always shows up at your house. Like, if their house isn't as nice as yours, they're like, y'all got a new big screen? Hey, y'all want to watch some television? You're like, no, I put a big screen in your little ghost house. Like, but it's not as big as yours, boo. Rattle change, rattle change.
Essentially.
That's it.
I love these redneck ghosts in Thailand.
Yeah. They're the worst.
Do they fuck on the ghost house?
No. And actually, I don't really remember, and I watched this yesterday.
Oh.
Doesn't matter. The movie's just, it plods along. And
Y'all want to come over and get my tiny ghost hot tub you put in? No, I put it in so you'd leave me alone. Bubble, bubble.
that would be way better.
Well, that's
Bubble,
nice
bubble, bubble.
that the ghost is still inviting you over.
Yeah. Well,
That's
the ghost
very nice.
is just a nuisance.
Yeah.
So Halloween Girl gets possessed, and then by an angry Japanese water hair
John Jacob
ghost.
Jingleheimer Schmidt.
Yeah. So it's about her and her villain-faced boyfriend trying to figure out how to cure her, and using
Yeah.
first modern medicine, which doesn't work, and then it didn't do much. It's essentially Scout Taylor Compton spends the whole movie just screaming because she sees ghosts. It's just like, wah! 3 minutes go by. Wah!
Maybe she just got the Holy Spirit.
Maybe. There's I don't know.
It's got the ghost house.
Why don't you stop and pick up a little six-pack? We'll play some hillbilly golf. I gotta say, it's 8 inches tall. Very challenging for someone of your normal stature and size. Boo! Rattle change, rattle change.
I wish.
This ghost kind of fun. Does he just get annoying eventually?
It's the ghost of
I mean,
Tangina.
he sounds
it's
charming.
Well, yeah, but it's always there.
Yeah, and if you're just trying to have just a normal night in,
He just drops in sometimes, right?
Yeah. And you're
He's
like,
like-
I made your little ghost house so nice so you would enjoy it and have your friends over.
He gets in your fridge. There's things that you made and you wanted to save for tomorrow. Like you're like, I can't wait to eat this pizza tomorrow.
Like a
And he
Blue
just comes
Apron
in
is
and
only
fucking- he's
enough
like,
for
"Can I
2
have
people."
your pizza?
So are the other ghosts like put off by him? That's why he's latching onto you.
I don't know why. I just try to stay out of it.
just wants friends.
We haven't met any of the other ghosts.
All the other ghosts just shun him. They don't invite him to the ghost house
Could you imagine the
association.
The ghost house parties?
Yeah,
The little contractors that put the new roof on the ghost house.
they're like
The ghosts of
dozers
Kid and
or
Play
something.
won't invite him to the ghost house party.
Oh, kid and play haircuts.
Yeah.
Aw.
Oh my goodness. Okay, so that was
I feel
Ghost
bad
House.
for this ghost. I want to invite him over.
Toward that great. So let's shoot. Let's
Shoot,
load
badoop.
this gun with one movie bullet.
I'm gonna
Uh-oh.
Mikey B, here you go. You ready?
I'm ready for it.
You live.
Swish.
Freddie,
Swish.
you live. Kelly.
God damn it.
Oh, shit, bro.
I hope it's a real good movie for you.
Oh, shit, bro.
I haven't had a good Kelly rant in a while.
Oh, no.
It's called Before I Wake.
Mhm.
Oh, I heard this was pretty decent.
From our friend Mike Flanagan. He's not our friend, but we like his movies.
I like Oculus.
Still mourning the death of their son, Mark and Jesse welcome foster child Cody into their lives.
Mark, Jesse, Cody,
sounds
Skylar, Hunter,
It sounds like a porno.
Bryce,
Maybe a gay porn.
Caden, Aiden.
Soon they discover he has
Bella.
strange abilities, starring Kate Bosworth,
Oh.
Thomas Jane,
These are real
Oh, I
actors.
like him.
I love Tom Jane.
and Jacob Tremblay.
I don't know who that is.
How from The Room?
Just room.
Room, not The Room. Room.
Vroom, vroom.
Vroom, vroom. I do. I love
yeah.
Tommy Jane.
Room
Yeah.
was really good.
Kate
by the way.
Bosworth seems to be a competent actress.
Yeah, sure.
What
She
a
doesn't do
backhead.
much for me, but whatever.
I don't know. Like the only reason I say it is I can't place her, but like I know I've heard good
I
things
think
about her.
she's Bond, right?
That's a very faint
Kate
phrase.
Bosworth?
I feel like
I
she
don't
like
know her
her
super
and
well.
Michelle Williams and Sienna Miller. Like I get them all kind of like.
Yeah, they're
Michelle
all.
Williams is really good in Greatest Showman. I already said
Michelle Williams stands out for me forever and always because of Dawson's Creek. She
Grams?
remains. Yes, Grams.
I'm worried about Grams.
She was so worried about Grams.
Grams.
Jen.
Yeah, she called her
Crackers?
grandma Grams.
Grams.
Oh, okay.
She was a
Anyway.
cracker.
You know what?
Grams is a cracker.
I couldn't tell if you're saying grams or cramps. She's worried about cramps all the time.
Well, I
It's
mean,
my,
that,
my second
too.
slur of the episode.
Cracker's not a slur.
Okay, thank you. I'm glad you let me off the hook on
Oh,
that one.
you can say cracker all you want.
yeah, it's
Yeah.
when it, yeah.
Honky's okay too then?
Yeah.
Tom
of course.
Segura does
Especially,
a bit about
say
it.
whatever you want.
All right.
Cracker ass, cracker.
Miss Cracker.
We good?
Yeah, I'm
Yeah.
good.
I
You
mean,
good?
we're pretty good. Yeah. I think we're good. We've been around for a long time.
This week's main attraction is Mikey B's pick, The Hudsucker Proxy from 1994, written by the Coen brothers and Sam Raimi, directed by the Coen brothers, starring Tim Robbins, Paul Newman, Jennifer Jason Leigh, Charles Durning, and a whole lot of people you've seen in
And
1,000
You
other
almost
things.
said it like Amy Archer.
The dad from
The Hudsucker
Frasier.
Proxy.
Yeah.
Yep, Martin Crane.
Yeah.
Martin
Fast talking
Crane,
Martin
John.
Crane.
John. What's his face?
Bruce
Mahoney.
Campbell.
Mahoney. Yeah.
Bruce Campbell is her.
Bruce Campbell in there.
Yeah.
Very young, hot-looking Bruce Campbell.
Yep.
So why did you choose this for us, Mikey B?
Well, I chose this film because this film happened. This was came out in '94. I think I saw it sometime around then, and it happened for me during the heyday of when I started falling in love with film or seeing film a little bit differently. So, like right after I had seen. Around the same time I had seen like Reservoir Dogs, or started getting into Quentin Tarantino films, and Magnolia, and just great films. And so this film to me was like the perfect storm of a lot of different things. Like one, it's the Coen brothers. This is my introduction to the Coen brothers and their specific style. And to me, this film is a fairy tale. I love fairy tale kind of films. It's a very stylized fairy tale movie. So just one of those films I keep going back, and at that time would continue to introduce my friends to, like, you've got to see this film. And most of my friends ended up really liking it. So it was just like that ability to share in the community of people who would love film. So it shaped me in that way. So that's why I picked it. What did y'all think? Or should we synopsize it? I'm sorry, my hosting duties.
You're doing great.
Am I doing okay?
Because I'm gonna crap on it.
I like.
I, just
know.
need, I need to
Can
build
I-
you up before I tear you
Can
down.
I tell you that more than once when we were watching, I was like, Amy is going to hate
Yeah.
Because Mike
this
just said
horrifically.
the thing that is perfectly describes a thing I hate: fairy tale stylized.
That's exactly what
I
I
wanna stab
said.
myself in
She
the
hates
eyes.
preciousness.
Real briefly, Mike was saying about the synopsis is country boy from Muncie, Indiana, moves to New York City looking for a job.
Mm-hmm.
The only thing he can find is working in the mailroom of the Hudsucker Corporation
Industries.
or Industries. Charles Durning, the CEO of this corporation, during a board meeting just decides, fuck it, and he runs and kills himself. He jumps out of the window of the
Right.
45th floor, 44th floor,
With the mezzanine.
45 with the mezzanine, if you
Yes.
include the mezzanine. And they try, the remaining board members decide if they can tank the stock in the style of like the producers or something, that they can afford to buy the company themselves.
What did I say this kept reminding me of that I also wanted to rewatch? I'll have to think of it. It's like right there.
So they hire, per the Dilbert principle, they hire Tim Robbins from the mailroom to run the corporation because they think he will destroy it enough
Oh, Mr. Deeds.
to buy it. Yeah, it is like Mr. Deeds. And
But more like better.
and you
More
bring
like
in
better.
the reporter, played by Jennifer Jason Leigh, who
J. Jonah Jameson.
Well, he's
Jennifer
given-
Jameson Lee. J.
And-
Jonah Jameson, Jennifer Lee.
Because he's in the mailroom, the reason
Yeah.
that he's even introduced to any of them, he's given a blue letter. So all
Right.
we know is, which is our MacGuffin for the film, is what is this blue letter? Which I don't know if did anybody ever even think about that at the end of the film?
well,
The blue letter. Did
no.
anybody remember the blue letter
Yeah.
from? Okay, so they get that MacGuffin
from earlier in the film? I remember.
well, it feels like a
It's-
MacGuffin
it's
until
important.
the very end, and
Yeah.
then it actually does pay off.
Right, it
in a
does
way.
pay off.
I wondered the whole time what was in it.
So he runs the letter up to the top floor
Yep.
to show it to wearing
Paul Newman.
Paul Badass Newman. God
Yeah.
damn,
Ooh,
he's
he was-
awesome.
Yeah,
He
he's
was
great
fit.
in this film.
Oh, Paul Newman was always awesome. Like,
I was like, when he took his shirt off, I was like, ooh, Paul.
And he's like,
Daddy Paul. You ran out and you got some dressing.
so
Poured it all over your body.
So he ends up through the misadventures.
you want to be covered in
becoming-
Newman zone.
The whole time he's been in New York, he's been carrying around this sketch of this thing he's designed, for kids.
For the kids.
For kids.
It's a circle
Mhm.
written on a napkin. That's the great gag.
Yeah.
He shows it to people and says, I've got this great idea. And it's just a circle
For kids.
for kids.
For kids.
But it goes to show you, I love how, the circle, it even comes back later that, something so simple, people see it differently because later with the elevator operator, there's a little callback to that,
Right.
which is great.
Yeah.
But I think that pretty much does it. Jennifer Jason Leigh comes in. She does the whole
She's an undercover
alter ego, where she
she
becomes his assistant, his secretary, I guess. And meanwhile, she is just writing exposés on him for the paper.
Yeah. Because he's supposed to lower the stock. Did you already mention that?
Yeah.
Okay.
Well, she doesn't know that.
Right.
They
They
didn't
call
know
him
that.
at the
Right.
newspaper the
Yeah.
idea man.
Yeah.
She's trying to figure out why this male person, this male boy, went up to the company so fast, right?
Right.
Because it's a little weird.
Yeah.
And this is like that kind of turn like there's a lot of tropes in this film. I think especially now if you go back and you watch it, a lot of the things that happen in this film we see over and over and over again about like money and wealth don't bring happiness.
Mm-hmm.
But the interesting thing about this is that the woman in this film is actually the smartest one in the room, and she's the one that's trying to bring Norville?
Yeah.
What do they call him? Norville Barnes. Tim Robbins' character back to reality. But she's the one that's
to reality.
chasing her career, putting her career over everything.
To life.
Exactly.
No, I liked it. I saw it once before, but I wasn't paying very close attention to it. And I didn't dislike it, but I also didn't like it. I didn't like what Jennifer Jason Leigh was doing the first time I saw it.
Got in her way of her acting,
But-
and her characterization, that accent.
That said, this time it really worked for me.
Good.
Now that I was paying more attention.
I was telling Amy when we were watching, I said, I like to imagine that this movie takes place just down the road from Clue.
Yeah.
Like the shit's happening in the mansion in Clue, and this is happening in New York proper.
No, because Clue
Is a better movie.
It has a different
Yeah.
feel.
Clue
but it
is a
feels-
straight up comedy. This is trying to be something more than a comedy.
I don't think so.
It feels completely different. The comedy is completely
Clue,
different.
well, I will say Clue is a screwball comedy. This is a fairy tale.
It's a fairy tale. It's also a take on. I don't know how if anybody in this room is a fan of the. It's a Wonderful Life.
Yeah, it's a Frank Capra style
It's
film.
a Frank Capra style film where they just turn some things, they turn some things on its ear to make some points. You think about also when this film came out in '94, Clinton era is happening. We're just getting done with the Reagan-Bush depression, and so it's what this greed is good. We're just moving from greed is good to now what is corporate America and the dissatisfaction with corporate America. So it's like the Coen's brothers' take on where is happiness.
Not to mention, this plays so clean compared to everything else they've made. All their movies are kind of have some innocence to them, even the more violent ones. But this one plays. It's appropriate for all ages, I guess is what I'm trying to say.
Oh yeah, and it's complete. I don't feel like there was any winking in this. I feel like they were just everything is what you see.
Yeah.
Everything you see is exactly what you get. There's certainly deeper themes, but I don't think they were trying to be. I don't think in their minds they were trying to be cute or clever. I think they just, this is a story we want to tell.
Right. It's very much a live action cartoon. As well.
Yeah. So the parts that I wonder about, again, my high school level little, more smarmy self, film wannabe film guy.
Being the operative.
There's some big metaphors in this film. For example, you have the Moses character who's a
Sure.
little bit there's this God and devil thing that's going on with the clock and time and how time stops. And then you actually get the wearing Hudsucker has the angel halo on at the climax of the film. I mean, to me, those definitely feel like pretty big winks.
No, I agree with you. I think that there are metaphors and themes, but I guess what I mean is that I think they meant this genuinely. Do you know what I mean?
Oh, sure, for sure.
Like,
It was sincere.
I don't think they were trying to play a trick on the audience or like try to make like this is the Coen brothers doing blah blah blah. I think they meant all of it. I think it was that world was their world for that movie. You know, I don't think they were trying to I don't think they were trying to like. I don't know how to explain the.
No, I get you on that, because I do think, like, going back and seeing it now, it's been probably 5 or so years since I've seen this film. It's been a little while since I've seen it. It's always was one of those movies in my heart that I always loved and wanted to get back to, which is why I'm glad we did it. But I saw the movie get a little bit lost, like Amy is saying, and like some of what it was trying. Its stylizedness sometimes loses the plot of what they're trying to.
That's why I think I disagree with Kelley, where it was like sincere. I think they're just making fun of the era because everything was so exaggerated.
You know what I like?
I didn't get the making fun.
Well, because Sam Raimi wrote this too, I think this kind of supports my argument that it's a Warner Brothers cartoon done real, done live. Because everything that happens in this, I mean, you can find a moment
I can agree with that
in a Bugs Bunny cartoon where the same sort of situation has come. Like everything from Charles Durning being an angel with wings,
I
like
can
the halo
absolutely
and everything.
see that. Yeah.
That's what when someone dies in a cartoon, that's what they look like. The hanging out of the window, the giant clock, the burning garbage can, everything blowing out the window, the big contract literally blowing out the window page by page.
That's a great point.
So like if you like this,
which is funny because we've been watching a lot of Looney Tunes cartoons.
Yeah,
at home
and
right
you
now.
can probably see like there's so many parallels. The way the characters deliver their dialogue even is very Looney Tunes.
And I wanted to say something about Jennifer Jason Leigh. Like what you didn't like about it, I actually found her like to look at her acting. I thought she did an amazing job managing to deliver all that like fast paced, like really packed full.
Where she's typing,
like all of that like just packed with words. This dialogue, but I think she does it. Like it's just crackerjack. Just a crackerjack job.
When you say packed with word, that was another problem I had. It was like the movie was like exhausting. Like it did not give you a moment to breathe at all.
Yeah.
Because it just kept throwing all these little 20s, 30s cliches and tropes at you.
But it was set at the end of the 50s, which I didn't understand because I thought it was a little dated even for that time period. But then I wasn't born until 1980s, so what do I know?
Well, it's the fast talking New York style. It's kind of timeless. Like even in the 80s when they were making movies about New York, they still had characters talking like they were in the 20s.
And I love this cadence. To me, like I didn't realize this was another thing I thought Amy would hate about this film. This is almost a 2-hour long film, and to me it flies by, which probably didn't for you, because I do think it's like everybody in there, they ate their donuts and their coffee that morning, and they're flying through a lot of material. But what I like about this film is that there's so much to unpack. Like there's so many payoffs in this film. When you talk about the MacGuffin, the blue letter, by the time you get to that point and you're like, well, they just stopped time. Like, because, so at the climax of the film, the Norville Barnes, Tim Robbins' character, hits his rock bottom because basically he's risen to the top in a very, very short period of time. Like, really, this movie takes place over about 1 month of his life.
Buys into his own hype.
Right. Because so his circle for kids, which you don't know, but you probably do once the movie poster came out, he's holding a hula hoop. The circle, the thing for kids, the payoff on that is it's the hula hoop, which this company, they're all sitting around, including Paul Newman, who's sitting there and is like, yeah, let's do this, because they're trying to tank the company because they don't believe in Tim Robbins's what he's about to do. And Tim Robbins is so charismatic that he makes this thing happen despite nobody really believing in him. And so he creates the hula hoop, and it doesn't really take off immediately, then it flies.
Thanks to a little 10-year-old boy who's adorable, and who I thought was a little person, because he was so good at hula hooping. I said, "There's no way a kid is this freaking good at hula hooping."
I meant to look up to see who that kid was.
He's a real child. He was a real child.
Wonder if that kid is somebody now.
No, he's nobody.
He's somebody to somebody.
So in your mind, you need like age and life experience to be good at hula hoop.
Well,
because he doesn't know how to.
I had said when Alexander tried to teach me to hula hoop, it was a travesty.
I think when you're young, that's the best time to hula hoop because you're more limber and live.
Yeah. He was so good though. You see, he was tapping his foot, and he got that rhythm going. Then it was up on his neck.
Yeah,
and he was doing the
getting
jump
into it.
over it, like.
But you have so many of these unpacking payoff moments, and because it's so fast, like everything's happening so fast, it's like, oh, he can hold up the same picture later with one ring, and now it's the frisbee.
That's why it was too much. I didn't have time to absorb anything because they were throwing so much at me.
Yeah.
And
Where's Tim Robbins?
First of all, I love Tim Robbins.
Yeah, me too.
Susan Sarandon has him chained up in a basement
Sorry, Andy,
somewhere.
but now I'm just mad. Where is he? I love him.
I'll find out for you.
And also, like at that end, I would just to finish that thought. So he's out on the ledge, and he kind of decides to come back in, but the character who's sort of like the idea of the devil locks him out, and he slips, and so like the movie has been somewhat grounded up to this, I think, grounded-ish in its own reality, but time actually stops, and this is where you get this idea of the God and the devil character that are being played in the clock tower because they are able to stop time. And then you have the Charles Durning come down in the angel thing and remind him that one more thing that was planted at the very beginning of the film, that blue letter you were supposed to deliver but you didn't because you took that as an opportunity to show your hula hoop, really is the key to everything. Wraps up the entire story, and then time can restart.
But again, it's great because they wrap it all up very quickly with this Deus Ex Machina. Like they're just like, you know, we need to go ahead and finish this.
Yeah.
Boom.
It was jarring for me to have that time stop and the angel come down because I know that this is this fairy tale reality, but even the transition from this crazy cartoon world into like something even crazier like that, it was kind of jarring.
Well, I gotta say this, like, I don't know that this would have worked in every movie for me, but in this, it absolutely worked for me. Everything worked, like, because I just went with it. I was like, it is a cartoony world, so yeah, let's go with this. I can go with this. Like, I really enjoyed the shit out of it.
Yeah.
It was real cute. I'm not saying I don't know how many more times I'll watch it, but like in watching it, it moved quickly. It kept me engaged. I had fun with it. I like everyone that was in it. And when it came time to wrap it up, they just did it.
Right.
And I was like, all right. I think it's because of the Coen brothers touch, because I do like them for the most part. I think in lesser hands, again, because they just go for it. They don't have any second guessing. They're like, this is what we're doing, and you can accept this world or not accept it.
They're like Tommy Wiseau that way.
Yeah, but like way better.
As for Tim Robbins, he is working on a series called Here and Now,
Called Tim Robbins, I'm Alive.
by Alan Ball, who did True Blood,
He did American Beauty.
6 Feet Under.
Yeah.
So it ought to be pretty good. It's like an ensemble about a multiracial family.
I did find in this film though that I get where like the speed would be throw some people off. I get where that would do that, but like Jennifer Jason Leigh in this film, to me, I've always thought Dolores Claiborne, she was fantastic in that. I think she's fantastic in this because she has one of the character arcs that I think for me just really pays off in this film when she's trying to get the story. She's conflicted because she meets Norville Barnes and she ends up actually falling in love with him, but she's also there to spy and to build her career off of the story of who Idea Man really is.
Right.
So she has this awesome arc. There's an amazing scene where she's ballroom where she's incredibly that's a hot scene, I think, the fairy tale where they do the ballroom dancing. And then you have this moment where she's talking to Moses in the clock tower.
Oh, that is one of my favorite scenes.
Yes, mine too. Moses is coming up from above, and he's like, she says to him, you know, you won't tell anybody that I was here, because she's sneaking around trying to do some spy stuff. And he goes, I don't tell anybody anything, but I answer questions if you ask. And then she goes on to say something about being happy, and he says, you're not happy.
Yeah.
And you know, she's like, no, I am happy. And he goes,
Then Bagger Vance stumbles into the scene.
Yes. Which again, that's like, of that time frame too.
Yeah.
It's like
We were still doing that in the 90s too.
So we can't have a black person give exposition or anything
like,
anymore.
Well,
that's not allowed.
It's like the old Uncle Remus.
I understand the trope, but as you all know, I'm a very big believer in you do what you want, you write what you want. And if you want to make a black person give exposition, I say you fucking do it.
Oh, sure.
And we can judge whether or not your intentions were.
There's nothing blatantly wrong with it.
Yeah.
It's just the reason I think people find it offensive is those characters aren't given an arc of their own at all.
Yeah.
They're just the only reason they show up is that whole like apologetic.
No, I'm
we
not
need
saying
to put a
there's
black
any-
person in here and make sure they're wise.
But I think when you look again, take it. So 94 was when this film came out, and that trope, hasn't really been
it's
done.
always existed in movies.
Yeah, but now like you look at it, and we're
I don't
looking
think
at.
they're like playing it like, oh look, we're turning it on its head. I think they were just doing it because it's expected in those type of movies.
Right.
Yeah. Oh, you mean just the whole?
The matching hero thing.
Yeah. He
I don't think they were like doing anything subversive about it.
But
not at all. No,
film
no.
like-
Their intentions are totally pure. I think anytime someone does that, their intentions are pure.
But you have a film like The Help that just came out a few years ago and won all kinds of Academy Awards that to me is a lot more problematic than when you go back to
The Blind Side, anybody?
Yeah.
right.
I haven't seen that. I can't even.
I will judge the
address
shit
it.
out of it
I
if
saw
I
that.
want
I
to.
like The Blind Side. I
It's-
love Sandy B.
Yeah.
I'll watch almost anything
She's
she's in.
fantastic.
What
in
was
that
wrong
film,
with The
and-
Blind Side?
I have no
exactly?
idea.
It's a white lady fixing
Because
a black kid's
They're using him as a mascot.
Is that what it is? So the character is just basically
I have
not a
black
character.
friends.
It's her story as opposed to his story,
Yeah.
and that's the problem. Like the same thing with The Help.
Stop censoring
was-
white women
it
in
was-
your story.
Yeah, it was them using black people as props, basically.
But here's what I want to say. I'm going to put... I got Wes Anderson, I got David Lynch, and I got the Coen brothers. And for me, it's never going to work.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I'm sorry. And I
No.
know that's
Don't-
hurting so many feelings out
Okay,
there. I don't
people
want to
need-
watch films. I want to watch movies.
You're not hurting anyone's feelings.
People
No.
need to stop apologizing for things they do and do not like.
I agree.
Everybody needs to calm their fucking
I
tits
like
about that
dumb
stuff.
shit.
I agree.
Like what you like. Don't apologize for anything.
What
I
about
like
people that
explosions
like
and
Donald
ghosts.
Trump?
I mean, it's not okay.
Well,
it's not-
apologize for things you do that hurt people.
apologize for touching kids or raping people. But
Well, no, you might as well not do that either.
Yeah.
But
Well,
but I hate when people say, "I'm sorry, but I don't."
Because I
don't
just
like
want
this.
I want something I can relate to, and none of those people give me that.
yeah, well, you don't have to like it,
I think that's
baby
the,
girl. You
Nobody's
don't have to
judging,
like it.
but
No
nobody's
one's
judging
judging
you about
you.
Oh,
like,
I'm
liking
getting
this.
judged.
That's
out
the
there right
awesome
now.
thing though about movies or film is that it's for somebody. This film really works for me
Right.
really well.
Yeah. Well,
But it didn't work for you, and I can understand why. I mean, as I was watching this film again and coming back to
I
it,
love how
it did
you were all
come-
like, Amy's going to hate this.
Amy's not gonna.
I
not
said
gonna
it
like
at
this
least
film.
3
I didn't
times.
know where Andy would be
Well,
on it, but it makes
here's the thing.
sense.
I love whimsy type movies, fantastical movies like this.
Yeah.
But for me, the problem was where it was just so much.
Yeah,
And I'm fine with tossing a lot of stuff at me. It's like a little bukkake or something.
Balls.
Whoa!
Ropes of calm.
Freddie Morris.
ropes.
Splatters of semen.
You will never be governor of the state of
Yeah.
Ohio now.
But this
Bisque.
movie,
Jackson Pollock paintings of ejaculate.
Oh, God,
but this movie
stop!
was almost 2 hours long, and I think it would have worked for me if it was edited down a little more. Because when you throw so much at me for 2 hours, I'm exhausted.
He's tired, guys. He's almost 40.
It did. I will say I still love this film. I've loved this film for a long time. I still love this film, but I will say I do see where it lost some of what it was trying to do
Yeah.
because it was trying to be so stylized and trying
I
to pack
liked-
so much.
it was very well made, but I think it was just style over substance for me.
And
That's what I'm saying about all those three filmmakers.
I'll tell you what too about this movie that does work for me, but I can see I really like that like mid-90s. It had that mid-90s very clean like just the way it was shot. It had that very specific like this is super sharp, super like, you know, filmatic. That's not even a word, but do you know what I mean?
Filmatism.
Yeah, they follow the tenets of filmatism.
I think my optometrist said I have that.
It was just really crisp and
Screenerific.
You know what I mean.
I do know what
there
you
were
mean.
a lot of movies that were coming out around that time where it was like we are making a movie.
Yeah.
And
And this is coming right
Reminds me
after
of
for Coen Brothers, right after Barton Fink, and right
Yeah.
before I believe Big Lebowski.
Yeah.
So you can
I
kind of
think Fargo came first, right? Did Fargo come first or Bill
Blood
Lebowski?
Simple.
Blood
came
Simple
first.
was their
Okay.
first movie.
No, like before Bill Lebowski, right?
Oh, Fargo? I don't know.
I'll find out for you.
So we were theater last
One
night.
Cohen did Fargo and one Cohen did Big Lebowski at the same
Just
time.
out of
And
curiosity,
one Cohen
Amy,
went wee all the way home. What?
Amy and Andy, any Coen
Fargo
brother movies that you do
was
like?
that 2 years after this.
Okay, Fargo or Bill Lebowski?
Fargo was
Okay.
their follow up to this.
Fargo is one of my favorite movies.
I
Yeah.
love Fargo.
It's a great movie.
I
And
think
it's a slower plotting film for sure.
Exactly.
I like Fargo?
You can have more time to absorb the characters and the atmosphere.
You told me you did, but then you said you hated it too. I don't understand. I
think I was
don't know
just
where
mad
the fuck you're at.
yesterday.
Yeah.
I like the TV show.
She's like, I hated the Big Lebowski. I
I
hate
did
Fargo.
hate the Big Lebowski. I did.
I hate the word Cohen.
Fargo is definitely
She told me
less
she loved No
stylized.
Country for Old Men last
I did
night.
like No Country.
Oh,
for Old
No,
Men.
you always told me you hated that movie.
Did I?
Yes.
I don't remember.
You need to revisit
You
it.
need a
girl, you-
milkshake.
That's
Some tits need to be calmed. Shh, right, take it down.
These
I
tits
don't
are about to pop off and
remember.
flying out of space.
I feel like I did like No Country for Old Men,
which
but
is
I
funny because
honestly
that's
don't
one
remember.
I don't like. Like I did not like.
yeah,
No
I
Country for Old
I
Men.
like it, but I don't love it because it's so heavy.
You know what becomes-
It's so depressing.
Is really underrated is the Coen Brothers remade The Lady Killers. Have
I
you seen
love
that?
that.
Isn't that great?
Listen, me and Elise were talking about this when we were watching last night. We were
Yeah.
talking about Coen Brothers movies that we really like, and we both love The Lady Killers. It's
Yeah.
really funny.
Where he's
and
like, did you fart?
It's cute.
It has fart jokes in it. I mean,
It's a real fun little movie, and a lot of people didn't like it. Didn't
Nature
get the-
Girl.
Yeah, it's
Okay.
fucking great.
So last night we went.
J.K. Simmons.
JK. We went and saw The Disaster Artist at our local art house theater. And they showed a couple of trailers beforehand, one being for Phantom Thread. And I loved Boogie Nights and I love Magnolia. This looks like hot garbage, but whatever, that's fine.
So Punch Drunk Love.
I can't stand Punch Drunk
Me
Love.
neither.
I've never seen
I
it.
love Boogie Nights and Magnolia. Hate
Yeah.
Punch Drunk Love.
So,
Same.
but
Well, I've
it's
never
like,
seen
I
Magnolia.
love Maya Rudolph and she loves him. And it's like, what do I do, guys? Anyway, I'm not seeing this garbage movie. So then after that, they showed, film. After that, they showed a trailer for
She's not sorry about it either, Andy.
Okay, here's the thing.
what?
Like what you like, but don't shit on other people's shit stuff.
Oh, now you're fine tuning it. Now you're splitting hairs, Andy.
Now I'm not allowed to say it looks like garbage.
Can I ask you a question,
Don't
Amy?
junk people's yum, Amy. Like you say that
I
all the
didn't
time.
say anybody who sees it is a fart face. Did I?
The fart face.
No, but let me. What?
I wanted to ask you a question,
Please do.
and this is not persecuting.
Ask the idiot questions with Amy.
I don't want to ask an idiot question.
I'm an idiot
No, you're not.
I just
that loves bad boys too.
No, but
a
here,
great
can I ask you though?
Yeah.
I do feel like this has evolved for you over the last. I feel like you did
sure.
used to like films,
Probably.
and then at some point you stopped. And I'm
I'm-
just curious about where the changeover happened.
I don't know what's happening with me because I'm really into like fun, like noiry, like black and white movies now.
Yeah.
But
I
she
would have
used to not watch
stabbed
black and white at all.
myself
I
in
know.
the uterus years
So I'm
ago.
just curious.
I don't know.
There's nothing wrong with it. I want you never to apologize for what
Isn't
you do.
that happening with all of us though? Like on our tastes, like because I feel
'Cause
like
you're not what
have
I'm
you seen
going
The
to be
Room
forever.
10 years ago? I
don't
think you would have
know.
hated it.
I don't know. Again, as I was telling you, there are movies like that I really do like.
Yeah.
It just is depend. I don't like them as a genre, but
Yeah.
like there are movies that I do like. So I might. I probably still would have.
Yeah.
See, my emotional state has so much more to do. Like, I cut
Yes.
out a Walking... people will get mad at me because, why don't you watch Walking Dead? You say you're a horror film, blah, blah, blah. I just
can't
don't
handle it.
want to go there. To me, it's just that
well,
feeling.
I'm
just
over The
don't
Walking Dead.
dig it. But, like...
That's why I'll never see 12 Years a Slave or something like that. Everybody's like, this is a beautiful movie and it really tells this story
You
well.
just don't want to feel awful.
I can't feel that. I
Yeah.
have too much in my own fucking life that I'm full up on. I'm out of. I can't take any more bad on.
What'd you
and
do
you-
with the movie Life is Beautiful? Do you remember? Did you see that
Is that
one?
the guy who ran through the
Yes.
Oscar aisles?
Roberto Benigni.
yeah. My heart is
No.
filled with happy juice.
If I get any inkling that a movie is going to have a sad moment before it gets to the happy moment, I'm out. I don't
Okay.
want to do it.
Well, I just asked that 'cause that's one of those films that presents horrible, but in a beautiful. Try to present it in a
I
beautiful.
will never.
Pretty good
Oh, was it a
movie.
happy concentration camp
it was
movie? Fuck that
offensive.
shit.
You
I'm
found
not
it
going to do it.
offensive?
I
can't do it.
Well,
It's
listen,
like, if all the parents covered their, it's like like the other parents didn't try hard enough or something.
Oh, that's an interesting take, Andy.
It's like how like you were this magical creature that shielded your son from the horrors of the Holocaust. Like, good for you, but then that doesn't make you better than the other
Are you
parents.
saying make
Okay.
sure that your dad's a comedian before you
yeah,
get
exactly.
all the way?
you shouldn't feel persecuted.
Oh, I don't.
And no, you do. but
Probably I do. Yeah.
but
I know I'm being judged in some way by some people.
But who cares?
I don't really care.
It doesn't matter.
This is the thing, and
I mean, your feelings matter. The fact that you're being judged doesn't matter.
You and I do the same thing, but I feel like you feel persecuted for it. I don't watch every movie. I very deliberately choose what I go see. I'm not a person who sees every movie. And people are like, "Did you see this?" And I'm like, "No." Why not? Well, because it doesn't look like something I'd like, and that's okay. There are tons of movies that you don't have to like or go see. And I think because of social media and all these people who do watch every movie, I feel like you're feeling persecuted. Fuck them.
Fuck you.
Right. Some people don't have. They literally all they do all day is watch movies.
Yeah.
I choose very deliberately what I watch.
Movies are like third on my list of things to consume anyway.
Yeah.
I'd rather watch TV or read.
Yeah. Well, like Freddie said, I think everybody's movie tastes are evolving. Yeah. I used to watch movies because I felt like I had to, because they're important classic movies, and I watched them just to watch them.
Yeah.
Not necessarily because I wanted to, because I felt like Kelley said, some people feel like you're supposed to watch them.
Yeah.
And I just watch what I want now.
Right. Well, there's also something to be said for, because I was in that position once. When I worked for a video store.
I mean, don't get me wrong, there were some movies I watched and generally liked.
Right.
But there are a lot of movies I watched and didn't even.
I think you got to strike a balance.
Yeah.
Like, what's important to you? Like, if you want to really educate yourself about film, sometimes you've got to challenge yourself. If you don't care so much, like, I don't want to educate myself about golf, but I might want to go out and play golf with somebody one afternoon. You know, there's a difference.
But I still feel like my new movie knowledge is pretty good.
Yeah. Oh, of course it is. And I think too, like, you can still, like, you can watch, like, listen, I love Citizen Kane. I'm not going to watch every fucking classic movie that everybody says is good, but I'll give things that, it's okay. Just because you watch it doesn't make you a pretentious asshole. Right. That's a great story.
Well, good examples like Alfred Hitchcock.
Yeah. I
love Alfred Hitchcock, but I realized something. Like, there's only a handful of his movies I really like.
Same.
Like, so, like, I would go back. His catalog runs deep.
Mm-hmm. Oh yeah,
and a lot of it is him trying to perfect the things he did in, like, Vertigo, The Birds, Rear Window, and Psycho.
Yeah,
and North by Northwest or South by South.
North by Northwest.
Like, those movies are like,
even I know that
you can just watch those 5 or 6 movies and his TV program, and you're getting the best of. Mm-hmm. Anybody who wants to be like a Hitchcock scholar, go back, dig deeper, but you're not going to have a better time watching anything else he made than you are watching those movies.
But I think that one of the things that makes this podcast specifically great is that everybody's coming at it with a unique perspective. I don't think that we're ever going to have. There's going to be very, very few movies where we put down for all of us, and everybody's going to go, that movie was amazing.
Movies I pick,
or that movie was bad. I don't think,
or that movie was absolutely horrible. Like,
are you confused, little boy?
The thing that really gets me going,
not little,
gets me going about film is, like, I love to share something that I know. If I see a movie that I know that Amy's gonna love, or Andy, or Kelley, or Freddie, and I'm not gonna say like everybody needs to see this, but I'm gonna say I love to share that, or say, oh, you really got to see this film, because
you like sharing your joy.
Yeah, exactly. You want to share that joy because it made you feel something that you think, like, I know this person well enough to know Amy's gonna hate it, Freddie's gonna love it. So, like, I want them to share in that joy. I don't want Amy to have to suffer through something. That's part of what makes these choices really hard. Is because
it's about you.
Yeah, it is about you, but at the same time, you're like kind of get an idea of like where that film is gonna set with people. But there's something fantastic about sharing movies with our friends.
Agreed.
From Kelley's song.
It's just awesome. Yeah, I feel like
anybody?
Yeah.
Amy, I'm gonna win. Has anybody noticed that? And I did it too when I saw it. That every social media status where somebody saw Happy Death Day, they're like, "Bet this is gonna suck," or "Oh my God, this is really good. I didn't believe it," or "I know nobody's gonna believe me," or "I can't believe I really liked this movie," because everybody dismissed it.
I was the same boat.
Yeah,
well,
I did the same thing. I was like, people aren't gonna believe me, but that was really good.
Because part of it is
it's a dumb name.
Well, part of it's the rating too. Like, when you have a PG-13 slasher film,
but everybody apologized for liking it.
Why
did we do that?
I think they're apologizing.
I agree. I don't know.
I think they're apologizing to the movie because they're not to other people.
To the filmmakers, maybe didn't get a fair shake.
I feel like everybody's like qualifying.
I think people are like saying I didn't give this movie a shot, but then I saw it, and then I really liked it. They're
Well,
not apologizing to other people. They're apologizing to the movie itself, I think.
Well, and I'll be honest with you. I do sometimes wait for those kind of word of mouth things too, because I also, every time I saw the trailer for Happy Death Day, which I saw like in front of like 4 or 5 different movies, I was like, this looks like bullshit that I couldn't give a goddamn less about. But then everybody started saying like, oh no, it was actually a lot of fun. And it kind of, now, I mean, I still haven't seen it yet, but I will, because now a lot of people that I trust.
Maybe I'll feel that way about Phantom Thread.
I know this is slightly off of the point you were making, but I did want to say, like, it goes to show if you find a really great cast, what you can do even with a PG-13 slasher film.
Well, I don't ever judge based on rating anyway. I think that's stupid. And I know a lot of you guys listening right now are some of you are like, oh, if it's PG-13, it can't be real horror.
Yeah.
You can take that and put it in your butthole and leave it there until it makes you sick.
On the flip side,
That opinion stinks.
on the flip side, had Happy Death Day had over-the-top, disgusting, gory kills in it, it would have been even better.
And I get that.
But it was, even as a PG-13, because the cast was so good, and the direction was so good, it worked without that stuff. Until you get sick.
You get sick.
Till you get a butt infection, and your butt has to be amputated, and you're just legs and a torso.
Oh, God.
Well, that's pretty tame for Kelly's death wishes. Like, until you get sick.
I've tried.
He's softening everyone.
I'm trying not to be as horrible.
Okay, I've heard Kelly say, like, I want to choke him until I see the life escape from his eye.
Well,
Scythe.
in that case, I still feel the same. But when it comes to movies, I'm trying to be a little bit less, harsh.
So we're all evolving.
You could be in a room with Kelly and you wouldn't even know that he wants to scythe you. But he's thinking about
he
it.
wants you to get sick, but not by a super bug.
Sick?
Like
Yeah.
by a bacteria we can still cure.
I want you to get better, but I want you to feel awful for like 4 or 5 days, and then you have to take some. You have to take some amoxicillin or something,
He wants you
and you'll start to feel
Just
better.
a light.
He wants you to have a
penicillin.
slight annoyance.
He wants you to forget to trim your nails one week, and then when you're wiping, he wants you to have a tiny scrape.
And then after you feel better, you're like, oh, I shouldn't have judged it on such stupid criteria.
And then you get some doo-doo under your fingernail.
Yeah.
And you sniff it like, ooh.
And it's,
then-
well, you don't even know it's there, and then you get pink eye.
Yeah.
The exciting thing, though, about like
Very exciting.
very
please.
exciting about pink eye, is I think the one thing social media is creating is I love an expectation switch. Like when you go into a movie with an expectation and then it's just like pulled out from underneath you.
Crying
Like I
game.
know
The Room. That's exactly
The
what happened.
Room, or what was the M. Night Shyamalan one? I know still
Which
pretty
one?
decisive. Not Switch,
Split?
but the one before. Or
Oh, The Visit.
The Visit.
I
I
love
loved
that movie.
The
Yeah,
Visit, and
I
I
did
went
too.
with a
It's-
friend who was like an M. Night Shyamalan apologist, and I was kind of like, okay, I guess it's out, and we're going to see it. I wasn't, and I loved that
I
film.
love it. It's actually my favorite of his.
Yeah, and I think if I had gone in there with the expectation of like, oh, I love all of his films. This is the the movie that happened after whatever. It would have been different. I wouldn't have enjoyed it as much because my expectations just got that great shift. And I think that's what the cool thing that's happening with social media. It's like, okay, well, we all have these expectations and we don't have any problem with sharing them, but if you're okay with it, there's a really good chance that you're going to end up on your ear about this one.
Yeah.
I don't even
Why'd
hardly
everybody look
ever
at me?
post, like, if I really hated a movie, I don't even bother usually even saying anything.
And this, I gotta be honest. Like, I almost never see movies that I hate. Like, you'll very rarely see me talk about, like, unless it's for this show.
Well, yeah. I mean, we have to.
Because I don't go see movies, and I'm
Right.
probably not gonna like. It's very rare for me to go to the theater and come out and go, I didn't like that. It happens, but usually it's because I'm so selective about what I see. And I'm like, I know I'm gonna like Jurassic World, so
I've gotten to a point where I will
Right.
walk out of a film
yeah.
if I was talking to the Horror Hound guys about this the last show we did, and they were saying, well, if you don't stick it out until at least the third act and all this, I'm like, no, I said, if you don't have me by the end of the first act, I'm free to go.
Well, Movie Pass helps a lot with that.
Yeah, it's true. Well, that's one of the reasons I love having Movie Passes. I'll take chances on movies. I
Right.
haven't had to walk out on one yet with
But
Movie
it's
Pass
you're
yet,
still your
but I will.
time. Your time is still pretty valuable.
My
And if
time
I-
is more valuable
Yeah.
to me than torturing myself with
Freddie
something.
taught me I'm allowed to quit books.
Yeah, like
And that was,
do
that
that
was
with
hard
books.
for me.
I want everyone to understand. You can do anything you want. You
Yeah.
have not signed a contract to finish this
true.
book. You're not
Or
being
even this
paid to read it.
podcast.
You can do anything you want.
Many
and
of
it's
you aren't
not
hearing
anyone's
this.
business.
Because you quit earlier. When we were shitting on the Patriots, they were like, that's
And when-
wicked shitty.
And then if you didn't leave then when I said the thing
No,
about Jesus
keep
coming on
loving
Andy's
the
back.
Patriots. So fucking easy. Why don't you keep doing
We
it?
lost the other half.
We lost everybody.
But you could do anything you want.
Yeah.
You can
Can
stop
invent a
reading a
hula
book.
hoop.
You can invent a hula hoop.
Yeah.
You can still go and invent the hula hoop. I mean, it
A
exists.
bendy straw.
But you can do it.
Mm-hmm.
You can stop reading a book. You can walk out of a movie.
Yeah.
You can throw away a CD.
You don't-
still
you
listen
don't
to
have to
CDs
read
like an old
Infinite
person.
Jest.
So what you're saying, Kelly, is follow your joy.
Follow your fucking joy, or like if you like to be angry at things, be angry. Just be what you want. I mean, it's not healthy, but like you just do what the fuck you want. I don't understand the problem.
Yeah, like I'm
Just do
sure.
what you want.
Like Moonlight. I'm sure it was an amazing.
Moonrise Kingdom.
No, Moonlight.
The movie that won the Oscar last year.
Oh, I
I'm
thought you were
sure
about-
it was
oh.
fantastic, but I'm worried it'll be too sad before it gets too happy, and I can't handle it. I'm not going to
Yeah.
watch it.
That's
Don't
why-
watch it.
Good for you.
That's why I can't watch Rogue One again.
Yeah, I'll never watch that
Oh,
again.
I watched it because it's a Star Wars movie. I loved it, but there's no way I
The
can watch
minute
that
you
again.
guys, I didn't
I
know
do
that
like
was
a sad
about
movie.
all the dead people, and I was like, well, why am I going to see this? I don't
Yeah.
want to anymore. All right, are we done?
Almost.
Which one of those do you think?
What?
Hammy
Well, I'm
Michelle.
gonna talk about our Beelzebubs again. Patreon.com/NOTLP.
But before that,
Why are you interrupting me? I was just gonna do
I
this.
know I'm a bastard.
Do you need some attention?
Amy,
Hudsucker Proxy.
Amy, hashtag me too.
Poor Tim Robbins ended up in the mailroom, which was probably the worst job he ever had. What's the worst job you ever had, Amy?
I worked one day at a gas station.
And one day at a produce stand.
Oh, that guy yelled at me.
He did.
All right, that one was the worst.
I remember that.
Mm-hmm.
Andy?
Yeah, I haven't had the many jobs, but like I remember hating working with my parents.
Oh.
I was the bus boy at a restaurant,
Oh,
and I was
Gross.
probably too young to work. I was probably 8 to 9 years old.
Oh, dear God.
No wonder you hated it.
yeah.
Yeah.
And like we also had to like bring water to the people that just sat down.
You're like Chinese Bob's Burgers.
Yes, exactly.
You're a little Gene.
a Bob's a burger is
Bob's Bourbon Chicken.
yeah. So maybe I think I didn't like it because I was probably too young to
Yeah.
work in a restaurant, and that's probably the only reason why.
Yeah.
My worst job was singing sing-along videos to senior citizens. I did that job for 2 weeks. It was an office with like 5 people who we sold these awful sing-along VHS tapes to senior citizens' homes and senior citizens directly. And it was all people standing in front of green screens singing like Yankee Doodle Dandy or like basically Free. Oh, it was awful.
Do
It was
you have
horrible.
I feel like
these
we should make
tapes?
a movie about this.
Well, I do have one of them. So they all actually broke off and did one Burma Shave documentary, which it was actually pretty decent. I do have that somewhere. I'm not sure that I have any of the sing along videos. They are absolutely horrible. Like it was 40 somethings like in their like Yankee Doodle Dandy garb.
I can imagine it. I
Like,
can imagine
looking
it.
like they were riding a pony. And the great part was like we had these TV VCR
Sounds like
combos.
a Christopher Guest thing.
Oh,
a million %.
Horrible TV VCR combos in every corner of this small office, and every one of these guys smoked. And you're not supposed to smoke, but I didn't smoke, and so I'm having to develop a script. So that's what I'm trying to do, because you have to you have to sell so many videos to make a profit, and you only get your first month where they're paying you, and then it's all based on commission of how many of these videos that you sell to poor senior citizens that are choosing medication or Yankee Doodle Dandy sing-along videos. This place is filled with smoke, and then you also have to listen in the background to these people, these 40-somethings, selling or singing these classic songs that will bring
Public
back all
domain.
of the public domain. That'll bring back all of the great memories. One specifically that just seemed to play over and over again was this lady tap dancing completely. Oh, it was awful.
thought you
It
said
was a
completely
horrible,
nude.
horrible
I
job.
was thinking the same thing. I was
Yeah.
like, I'd watch that.
Yeah, I said in 2 weeks, I said my mom was sick and I needed to go take care of her. I have to go. And I left. But I did sell quite a few of those videos.
Good for you, Mike.
Yeah, I left.
Kelly?
Well, I've never liked a job. I've had well over
Sounds about
30.
right.
And I will say, like, my top 3 worst were the Enquirer,
Enquirer,
Cincinnati
I knew it was gonna be in
Enquirer, because it was the most stressful, and I just, by the time I left, I had gone insane. Kroger, cumulative. I've worked at Kroger a million times, doing a million different things.
Don't you mean Kroger's?
They are. Amy bred that out of me. Like she just
She beat it out of you,
beat
man.
it out of me.
Oh, so nagging works.
Yeah. It is
Thank
a
you
horrible.
for the-
It's just a horrible, horrible place.
Yeah.
I thought this last time being like behind the scenes would maybe change my mind. No, it just made it even. I was like, no, it's drenched in awfulness. Like every tissue of Kroger is soaked in just the virus-ridden, just disgusting awfulness. And then Frame USA, where I worked, they were just fucking ding-dongs.
Very dysfunctional.
But the one I want to mention is when I worked for Berkeley selling Enzyte, the boner supplement.
Oh, yeah.
And the great questions I got about what is personal lubricant and how my explanation is, That's just what I kept saying to the
For
guy.
kids.
I was like, it's personal
So it was
lubricant.
multiple questions or one person
It was
specifically
one person who
asking?
continued, yeah. But I definitely got questions.
How long did you give him? Like letting him talk about the lubricant?
we went round and round. He was like, yeah, but what is personal lubricant? What is it for? And I was like, you use it when you're, and he's like, no, what is it for though? What do you do with it?
Mm-hmm.
And so finally I was like, you put it on your penis, it makes it slippery.
And he's like, I got everything I needed. I'm done.
I don't remember how that ended.
Oh, he does.
That was his moment. He was waiting for me to say penis.
Moment like this.
If I'd have known, I could have just I don't know why it didn't occur to me earlier to just I should just get this over with and just talk dirty to
Yeah,
this
just
guy.
finish him off.
I don't know why I didn't.
Why wouldn't that just- you
What
think
do
of
you
that?
want it to be?
But it was like I was in work mode.
Some listeners were wondering if you were going to mention Dagmar.
Oh, U.S. Bank was
Oh,
horrible.
and-
That was like a fucking prison.
And
Yeah.
Schmendrick.
Dagmar and
Schmendrick.
Schmendrick were like the two. They were the fucking Rosencrantz and Guildenstern of U.S. Bank. They were just monsters.
Oh yeah, and hey, best friend.
Two.
Dagmar
Yeah.
and Schmendrick.
That is a deep
was-
cut for a few years back.
Yeah, it was a
listeners.
character-filled. It was a
Yeah.
character-filled adventure when I worked at a bank, but it was really a prison, and it was filled with. It was also an insane asylum, and there was also a bed bug once. And
Just one. It worked there.
Yeah, I saw it.
I was like, thank you for calling U.S. Bank. I'm a bed bug. How can I help you?
It was just filled with a lady threw a stapler at another lady's head there once. Everyone, like multiple people, had to leave because they were constantly dropping bags of weed out of their pockets. Constantly. That happened to 3 people. I got searched once.
All 3 days you worked there, it happened?
I worked there for months.
I know.
without a fucking day off.
You said it was
Months.
constantly happening, and then you're like, there's 3 times.
Well, I feel like
That's a lot of times.
I feel like dropping weed out of your pocket at work, where you're constantly having security guards. I feel like that is constant.
That's a shitty security guard. The busted
don't
those
have-
people for that, though.
Any kind of stories like that. I mean, other than my current situation where my boss is in the news. But other than that, it's been real quiet.
Leave that one alone.
For that one alone.
I started to say my worst was working for Macy's Closeout, loading and unloading trucks, and cleaning up the dressing rooms after people did God knows what in them.
Yeah.
But then Andy reminded me that I was also a member of the child labor force. One job was helping my dad when he was doing like carpentry and remodeling jobs and that sort of stuff, which I hated because he would yell at me all day long, and I'd have to carry drywall back and forth, and that was miserable. And the other one was working for my dad's friend in his basement.
Yep.
Which sounds
But you
pretty
can't talk
bad.
about that one.
Can't talk about that one.
You don't remember anything about it?
He was a private eye, and I thought it was going to be amazing because I was like 12 or something, and he's like, "You want to come work for me?" And I was like, "Fuck yeah, private eye!"
You were going to be a sidekick.
And he took me down to his dusty basement,
Mhm.
and it sounds so bad.
Yep.
And he
Took off your shirts.
took off my shirt. No, he gave me all these. His house was. It smelled like cigars everywhere, like burned up cigar smell. It was real nasty.
It was built out of cigars.
Probably. And and he just threw these huge, messy boxes of documents at me, and I had to like file them by dates.
I was gonna guess that that's what he made you
And
do.
that was all I did. It was just
Sometimes
chronologically
I like
filing.
filing.
Can I tell you, you wouldn't as a child.
You don't know me.
I do know you.
It was terrible.
Interestingly enough, Macy's being one of your worst, Macy's.com was one of my best jobs.
Yeah.
Not because the work was good, but because I got away with doing nothing and coming in late for months.
Kelly,
At Macy's, you said?
Macy's.com.
as a
Yeah.
manager of people, you're hurting my heart right now.
You don't want to get me started on managers and,
Don't get him
and
started.
I'm a
employee
great manager.
relationships.
Me too.
I am on your team.
I feel like no one should ever expect me to do anything.
True.
I think
All right.
we have to admit the mailroom in Hudsucker Proxy was probably worse than any of that.
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
All right.
That
so
old guy was really good, though. That was Blue from Old School, by the way.
back to
Reality.
Back to reality.
Back to reality. Patreon.com/NOTLP. If you're Beelzebub, you are whoopsie doopsie.
Amy got
Knocking
so
around.
excited about Beelzebubs that she punched her microphone.
You are a producer on
That's
the
right.
show, and we're going to shout you out. Let's start with Zach.
Zach, he's a Lego maniac.
Oh, yeah.
Remember?
Yeah.
Mhm.
Zarturk.
Jay Berms and Cassie.
Oh, yeah.
Your J Berms is always on my mind. It's a new scent.
Adam.
Adam. The first man.
One of these days, we're just going to say the names and not riff on them.
No, it's funny. Brooke.
That's a babbling brook. I'm going to speak in tongues.
Oh, you feel the spirit of Brooke in you.
Yeah, that's right.
Yep.
Ernest.
Ernie. You know what I did last week? I just read the names.
Alberto.
Yo,
Hey,
bro.
what's up, Alberto?
Hey.
Albert.
Hey, my man.
Albert. I love that we have Alberto and Albert.
I know.
They should be attorneys at law.
Mm-hmm.
Tree and Alex.
Then they go by their first names.
Kids.
Albert and Alberto, attorneys at law.
What a casual law firm.
Adam and Steve, attorneys at law.
Tree and Alex.
Tree and Alex, attorneys at law.
Also the travel
Everyone's
agency.
attorneys at law now.
Brandon Boone.
Brandon Boone, attorneys at law.
Bill.
Bill. Oh, I just got a bill in the mail from my attorneys at law.
Blake.
Blake, you're under arrest. You're going to
Maislin.
need an attorney at law. Blake Maislin is one of our local.
Yes.
He's the only lawyer in town.
He's Blake, quote, the attorney Maislin, and his billboards are him with boxing gloves on.
Yeah, we have Blake Maislin and we have Maisie, and Ochani, Connor, and
Johnny loves
Ochachi.
Attorneys at law.
That was just a lot of noise.
It was.
Chobani yogurt and Blake.
Mark Watts.
What? Happy anniversary, Mark.
Yeah.
He's celebrating an anniversary with his wife recently.
Yeah, yeah, so special.
His wife, attorneys at law.
Happy wedding birthday.
Mikey P.
Marcus.
Mikey P.
Oh,
Mikey B.
he got his law degree at night school. That's okay. We were arrested at night.
So you can only, if you're arrested at night, you can only get a lawyer that went to night school.
That's
Yep.
right. According
You
to
get it-
Ghostbusters too.
Yeah.
Then we have the talented Elise.
Ooh, very
I
talented.
Enjoyed your cheesecake,
I must say,
madam.
thank you so much for that, Elise.
It was very good.
It was so
Super
sweet.
good.
Of all of our patrons, only one of them made us a cheesecake today.
Yeah, so think about that, you little bitches.
I find that hard to believe. There are 92 of you.
We have
That is-
Amanda.
That is just over 1%
Hey.
made a cheesecake for us today.
Amanda, where's my cheesecake?
You're gonna be sorry when we get inundated with cheesecake.
Yeah, I would be sorry.
I
actually.
won't be sorry.
I don't really. I mean, I like cheesecake, but it's not like my top pick of desserts. You
I'm
know what
taking your
saying?
cheesecake. Half.
Good.
Yeah. Amanda,
Then it
Commanda,
won't go to waste.
attorneys at law. We love you.
And finally, Jimmy B.
Jimmy B, as in Jimmy B. Best the Bar. Now he's an attorneys at law.
Like on Better Call Saul.
Yep,
So many attorneys, my God.
at law.
Oh, good, Freddie. What is wrong with you?
You
All right,
listeners,
so
and thank you to all of our listeners,
Yeah.
all of our patrons of all levels, and all of our listeners. It's because of you that we can do this. Thank
Yeah.
you.
Yep.
so Andy's birthday's next. So Andy gets to pick the movie for next week. Do you know what it is yet?
Yes, I do.
Are you gonna say?
It's Okay, some people pick movies because I really like them, and but I'm gonna pick a movie because I want to educate people.
Oh, great.
Oh, great.
Is it Finding Superman?
It's called Birth of a Nation.
I hope it's what was the one where the lady gives birth?
The Miracle of Birth.
Miracle of Life.
The Miracle of
That's
Life.
what it was,
That's
yeah.
one. In that one, you see a guy get a boner through like an infrared. Do you remember that part? Like
Was that that same one?
I think
Yeah.
so.
It's
Yeah,
not
and
what
they
you're
they
making
have
us
like
watch, right?
the infrared.
Do you
Like it's
remember-
like you're the predator watching someone get
Yeah.
a boner.
And then that lady's vagina's right there, and then it's like, hello, it opens up, and that baby comes out of it.
Yeah,
Why
that's
does
a
it have to be an
terrifying moment.
infrared?
Now you
What?
just
Why does it have to be an infrared?
I think because they didn't want to show a penis getting hard to children in classrooms, so they showed it behind. They wanted to show how the heat, like how when you're
Angle of the
becoming
dangle is
gorged-
directly
when it
proportionate
gets
to the heat of
engorged
the
with
meat.
blood, it was like a heat,
Okay.
like the heat thing. It shows like the redness and the
The heat
blue,
thing.
and then
The
his,
heat
and his
thing.
wee wee goes up.
So is that what it is,
I
Andy?
picked The Miracle of Life.
Yeah,
It was those
it's a
free
classic.
It was those free videos you can get at Blockbuster.
Yeah, that's right. It was free one.
What'd you pick?
No, I'm picking Paris is Burning.
Oh, finally, I
I
can
do
finally
wanna
watch
see
this.
that.
Yeah.
What is
Fantastic
that
choice.
I just feel that Drag Race All Stars 3 is coming on soon.
What's Paris is Burning?
It's document. Well, Andy, you
It's a
explain.
documentary about the ballroom scene in the 80s. It's where like a lot of drag queens came out from, and like in the song Vogue from Madonna.
Yeah,
That's basically where she got the idea for that song from.
nice.
And it's just a documentary about gay life in the 80s, and you just see it's basically you see where all the references from Drag Race came from, and how all these things move up currently into popular culture.
Okay.
Oh, I'm excited for
Yeah,
this.
it's perfect timing because there's a TV show coming out that's going to be featuring some of that as well.
Yeah, it's like I forget, Pose or something like that.
Yeah.
It's like Ryan Murphy, I think.
It is going to be a Ryan Murphy
Yeah.
jam.
But yeah, Paris is Burning. It's on Netflix, so it'll
Alright.
be easy to watch for everybody.
Easy peasy
Perfect.
lemon squeezy. And Kelly's going to review before I wake. Are you guys done here?
Yeah, make sure you remind me that.
Happy
At some
birthday,
point.
Andy!
Thank
birthday,
you.
Andy.
And go wish me happy birthday, please.
Oh, Jesus. Bye.
Bye.
Frankenstein was wondering if he should go to bed.